Well, let's take you back to our commentary team then at the MKM for this one. It's Matt Murray and John Dunn, and discuss Millwall. And one of the key things I think for Millwall coming through into this period, likewise what we were saying earlier on about the experience of some of those Hull players, is Alex Neil, Matt, because he's done it. He's got he's got teams up from the Championship like he did with Norwich back in 2015. He's going to be key over this period.
Yeah, totally. I think he's brilliant. When you meet Alex Neil, he's one of them. He's quite, stern when you interview him and that, but he's a good guy. All the players that I know that have played for him respect him, and they know what their job is. It's very, very clear. And I think that he knows the Championship so well. What he did with Norwich, that's how he sort of burst on the scene down here, wasn't it? And everyone then from then on, he didn't quite work for him at Stoke, but that's why I think he's got a point to prove as well. I think he's a really, really good manager. He sets his teams up well. They are good defensively, but they are still exciting on the eye, and they score goals. But he knows how to get that platform, so he will be in there. He'll be keeping everybody calm. He'll be keeping everyone at it. And I think he's a key player, key person in this. But also, he's got backing from the board. The fact that he's got the likes of Tommy Watson, Barry Bannon, like I said before, you're looking at Doughty on the bench. That's a very, very strong squad for this team. So he's probably said to him, look, I just fell short last time. Give me these players. I'll get you in the playoffs, and then I know what it takes. Because I do think automatic's too far for them as well. But a very, very good manager. Yeah, very much so. And I know you touched on Femi Aziz, and he often does pick up the headlines, but how important is he to a strong finish for Millwall this season? You talk about keeping your best players fit. He's a match winner. He's so hard, and that's why I'm just not sure how this surface will affect him, because it's going to be difficult because he runs at players, he's direct, he's a great provider of goals, obviously scores as well, but he provides, but it's just how direct he is. So yeah, I think you look at players in the team, and when you've got a player like Femi Aziz in your team and you're playing there and you're keeping those clean sheets, you say, go on win the game for us, go and win the game. He's got that moment of magic. He might lose the ball now and again, but he can unlock a defence. So yeah, a player like him will be absolutely vital, key, and I'm sure again Alex Neil will be saying to his medical staff, just keep him right, make sure that he is ready for a Saturday or a Tuesday night for us to perform. But you have to manage players like him really, really well. But yeah, top young talent. Just explain to us, because you've mentioned the pitch a few times, just for those that might have just tuned in, what's catching your eye that you think is a little alarming? It looks like a beach. They've got the rugby markings on here. They've obviously been playing the rugby league, playing the football, and it's just absolutely, you just feel it's going to cut up, and it looks really, really loose. There's lots of bare patches, and you're not used to this in this day and age, seeing pictures like this so cut up, and teams that want to get the ball and play into wide areas. Yeah, it's a really, really looks like a difficult playing surface, but it's the same with both teams. But that's why I think it's affected Hull's home form. But that's why I also feel get the ball into wide areas, put crosses in or set pieces, and when you got McBurney or Josh Coburn up at up at each end, that's what was going to be the key this afternoon. It's 1 defeat and 7 in the Championship for Millwall. That loss came at home to Portsmouth, but since then they've responded really well to win their last 2 without conceding, taking on a Hull team that are having a little wobble, but so good has their season been, they are still very much in the picture for the playoffs. It is a fascinating encounter that we have coming up for you live, and we've also got a huge weekend of live football for you on the Talksport network. Over on Talksport, the first FA Cup 5th round tie of the day is currently underway, and it's goalless right now between League One Mansfield and Arsenal. That's around 15 minutes old. Swipe across the Talksport app to listen in to that one. 2 more games coming your way today from the FA Cup as well. Wrexham host Chelsea, that's at 5:45, and then it's an all Premier League tie as Newcastle take on Manchester City, that one kicking off at 8. Plus there are 3 more ties for you tomorrow. Whilst here on Talksport 2 we're going to bring you Ipswich against Leicester from the Championship, that one at 3, immediately following the conclusion of our 12:30 kickoff, which comes to you this afternoon from the MKM Stadium. And you can hear the atmosphere building because the teams are making their way out now. It is a huge game for both sides. Hull against Millwall. Let's hand you to your commentators for this one. The former Wolves keeper Matt Murray is alongside John Dunn.
Thank you, Natalie. Good afternoon, everybody. Well, things are certainly hotting up in the promotion race across all of the leagues in the EFL, but game of the day in the Championship is here at the MKM Stadium with live coverage on the way here on Talksport 2. It is 5th placed Hull taking on 4th placed Millwall. Just 2 points separating the Tigers Tigers and the Lions, and it's 6 points and 4 points respectively for these two from the automatic promotion places. Millwall arrive in Humberside on form, having won their last 3 games on the road. They hold the joint best away record in the Championship. Hull may be feeling the promotion expectations and pressure, winning just one of their last 5 here at the MKM Stadium. The Tigers are unbeaten in their last 7 against the Lions. After today, these two sides have just 10 games left. Will one or even both end that as a Premier League team? Let's look at the lineups as the two teams are on the field in front of us. For Hull, it is 4 changes from a midweek loss at Ipswich. Matt Crooks is suspended. Paddy McNair, John Egan and Lewis Kumas all moved to the bench. In come Semi Ajayi, John Lundstrom, Cow Joseph and returning striker Ollie McBurney. Pandora is in goal. Drame, Ajayi, Hughes and Coyle is the defence. Lundstrom and Slater in midfield, with Gelhard, Joseph and Miller behind McBurney. Just the one change for Millwall. They beat Preston at Deepdale 7 days ago, 2-0. Ryan Leonard, the right back, is injured and misses out. Danny McNamara is an able replacement. Patterson in goal. McNamara is alongside Kramer, Cooper and Sturge in defence. Denora and Mitchell are the 2 players that hold things in midfield, with Aziz, Langstaff and Negley supporting Coburn, who is the Millwall striker. Well, you can hear the atmosphere, or maybe you can just hear the PA announcer. He's woke up and had his Weetabix. Matt Maroo's alongside me. We've built this one up. We're both really looking forward to it. 4th versus 5th, 5th versus 4th. They can see the automatic places just above them slightly. They've got a lovely cushion in the playoffs. Where does this one go this afternoon?
Oh, it's such a hard one to call. Such a hard one to call. I do feel that Millwall are slightly favourites. I do. I think just with their away form and how they've been, and just that Hull having a bit of a wobble. But like you say, this PA guy, he is definitely getting it going, because sometimes the players, these earlier kickoffs are difficult. You know, if you're eating and the time and stuff like that. But I think the first goal in this is massive. If Millwall get it with how good they are defensively, Hull's little wobble, then I think Millwall will go on to win it. But yeah, great. This is the pressure you want. You want the pressure to be getting out the league the right way, not the wrong way. So tight game though, I think, this afternoon.
Talksport, home of the EFL, here at the MKM Stadium on Talksport 2. We are underway on Humberside. Hull City in their all amber shirts with black arms, and they're on the attack here on the edge of the area. Gelhard's flick. There were appeals for handball early in the game. Well, you can hear the atmosphere. Hull have struggled in recent weeks after getting themselves comfortably into the playoffs. Their form has just dropped off slightly. 1 win here in 5 in all competitions. Millwall in their best away form since 2018, when they won 6 consecutive league games away from home. They've won 3. Can they make it 4 this afternoon? Millwall in all white. Later on this afternoon, we've got live coverage of Leicester versus Ipswich. Right now over on Talksport, it's the FA Cup tie between Mansfield and Arsenal. Arsenal are on a stag do in Mansfield. That's underway, kicked off slightly earlier. If you've not already downloaded the Talksport app, you can swipe left and right between the two. Crossing from the left from Lundstrom is gathered at the near post by Anthony Patterson. For Millwall, Matt, they are in great form away from home. Do they just need to manage this crowd a little bit? It is deafening.
Yeah, and that's the thing. When you come away from home, you know you've got to start well. You just got to start well, keep it tight, you don't have to go all gung-ho. I'm not surprised on this pitch, but also with the atmosphere in the ground that Patterson's taken a long goal kick. You don't want to play one of those short ones, invite them onto you. You're going to have to weather a little bit of a storm. But yeah, the atmosphere in here. So yes, they've been poor at home recently, Hull, but these fans are still very much with them and right behind them.
Liam Miller on the far touchline, the Hull wide man, or he'll drift in field here as the ball comes in from the halfway line from Louis Coyle, showing his adaptability. Usually a right back. Where's number 2, the captain at left back today, to facilitate Cody Drame, who's in at right back. Coyle, who is pass fit. He was a big doubt for today after picking up an injury and the defeat at Ipswich in midweek. That was a real blow. It was clearly a boost for Ipswich, who just sit above these two sides this afternoon. Millwall have possession on the edge of their own area. It's touched back to goalkeeper Anthony Patterson, a January loan from Sunderland, a League One and a Championship playoff winner with the Black Cats as Millwall try and come forward here, but there's a poor touch by Corley Langstaff, and Hull have it with Semi Ajayi just inside his own penalty area, able to turn and face up the field. Ajayi hasn't played for Hull since mid-December. He went off to AFCON. He played for Nigeria in all of those games. They finished in the third place playoff game, but then he came back injured and hasn't appeared since. Was an unused substitute in the week. Ajayi there again, a big towering header midway inside his own half, was fouled by Josh Coburn. Ajayi, championship experience with West Brom and with Rotherham, and he gets a foul there.
Yeah, a proven player. He's mobile, isn't he? So if you try and run him, he's quick, he's good. You know, he's a good size, 6'3", 6'4". But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how he feels being out injured for a while in a game of this magnitude and this tempo.
There's a surprise as the cross comes in towards McBurney, a header. Not sure he was expecting that. He was sandwiched between two Millwall players. I think he thought one of them would get it. In the end, it's kind of bounced off his head rather than him angling it. It drops wide, but that's the first effort of the game. 3 minutes in, 0-0.
Was that Miller with the cross, inverted cross? And they're so hard defensively because it's in swinging and you're dropping. The keeper can't come, and it was a brilliant cross. Because, as you say, McBurney was sandwiched between two big giants. I think he sees it late. I'm going to say for a player of his calibre and his heading ability, that's a chance. And he's done the right thing. He's tried to just guide it back across. That's just inside the post. Patterson doesn't get there. Half chance, but for McBurney's quality, you can see that's a tactic. And I think Hull have made the better start for sure.
McBurney, who scored 3 goals in his last 5 home games here at the MKM Stadium, was a substitute in the week. He was ill in the previous game, did come on at half-time against Ipswich, starts today, 14 goals in all competitions. Here come Millwall with Langstaff, 25 yards out, ball to the left-hand side, where coming forward is Tommy Watson. Now, Watson was named as a substitute, but Watson is on the field. We'll just have to check what the change has been made there. Watson inside the area, ball is on the far side at the minute for Millwall. We've not got notification of that, but Watson has definitely started. Where's 22? Another low knee is on the left-hand side for Millwall, that back 3. Just looking around, Disease is there. The other player playing wide would be Negley, and I can't see Camille Negley. Negley is the player not involved. We can only assume a late change there for Millwall. We'll try and get details on that as soon as we can, but it does look as though Millwall have been forced into a change. It's Casper De Noor, who has clearly been injured in the warm-up. There's a foul there. Liam Miller was caught as Millwall tried to come forward. So just to confirm, that late change where Casper De Noor doesn't play in the starting 11. Tommy Watson comes in. He's on the left-hand side, so it looks as though Camille Negley will move into a more central area. Coming forward now, though, is Hall with a shot that's blocked inside the area. Cal Joseph with another effort from the byline. Tried to send the ball to the far post. Nicks off Christian Kramer. It's looped over the bar. Will be a Hull corner. 5.5 gone, 0-0.
Yeah, it's good tempo, isn't it, to this game? There's no sort of tension to this, if you like, with a game of such magnitude. Both teams going forward, but that was a good positive attack. And those deflections, they can wrong foot you as a goalkeeper and drop into the net, but good positive direct play from Joseph, who's got previous against Millwall, so decent opportunity there. Yeah,
scored 2 goals in the reverse fixture. 3-1 at the New Den. Joseph will be in the area making a nuisance of himself by the goal line as it's left-footed in by Gelhard. It was low and it was easily dealt with at that near post, but Hull are first to the loose ball. It's Cody Drame, the former Leeds fullback, will play it into the centre circle where Louis Coyle has time to look up, and he floats a ball to the far side of the box. Hull kicking from left to right in their all amber shirts in the first half. It's cleared to Watson, who sends it down this left-hand side. Coburn brings it under control, just inside the Hull half. Louis Coyle is stuck to him like glue, forces him to play the ball back to Zach Sturge, the Millwall left-back, a summer signing from Chelsea after spending all of last season on loan with the Lions, the 21-year-old. Popular figure amongst the Millwall supporters, a big following as well from the Lions over in the far left corner of the stadium. Ball down the far side. Femi Aziz, a real handful, and will prove to be this afternoon. 8 goals this season, 5 assists in his last 6 championship games for Femi Aziz. Live on Talksport 2, nearly 7 minutes gone. It's Hull 0, Millwall 0. And now Watson coming through the centre, edge of the D, plays it into the path of Aziz, who tries to beat Ajayi. Sturge there as well. Ajayi shields it from Sturge, and the Hull supporters applaud the efforts of the returning centre half. 0-0.
And you called it there with Coyle defending Coburn. then when Aziz gets the ball, and now this time with Ajayi, they're getting tight straight away. There's nothing worse that I hate when I used to be in goal and defenders would back off and let players turn and then run at them. When you can go and get tight, lock onto them, don't let them turn, get into them, don't let them get their speed up. So 3 examples of really, really good defending there from me, from players in the Hull shirt. And again, Hull, who I've seen before, try and build from the back. They're taking a long goal kick, but Sami Ajayi, I think his early actions have been good. His header, and then that defending down in the by the touchline. So, but I think this has been a really good tempo and a really exciting start.
Nearly 8 minutes gone, 0-0 on Talksport 2. Ball inside the centre circle. It's just lofted forward by Negley. Chases on Coburn. Briefly got in front of Ajayi, but it was too physical. And it's a free kick to Hull inside the D.
Yeah, so I didn't know if there was a pull back there, but it was offside in the end. I think they just squeezed the pitch in that high line. But for a second, I thought Sami Ajayi had a little pull at him there. Then I wasn't sure what it was for. But yeah, I think it's offside. But yeah, that high line that Hull are keeping, Millwall are definitely trying to run in and get in behind that. But yeah, just still want that first real big chance at either end.
The other early kickoffs in the Championship, or one other, is Blackburn 0, Portsmouth 0, 8 minutes gone there. Over on Talksport right now, FA Cup 5th round action, Mansfield 0, Arsenal 0. Here on Talksport 2, the same scoreline after nearly 9 minutes of this Championship game, where 5th takes on 4th, and it's Hull in 5th on the right hand side here. And it's going to be laid off to Cody Drame infield. There's space here for Regan Slater, although he's been pressured back into his own half of the field, and a ball that's rolled back to Ivor Pandor, the Croatian goalkeeper who joined 2 years ago from Fortuna Sittard in Holland. There's a ball forward from Ajayi, is closed down and blocked by Macaulay Langstaff. It means that Hull have a throw-in midway inside their own half. Drame will take it. In his second season since moving from Leeds, began as a youth player with Fulham before the trip to Yorkshire, remains in West Yorkshire with the Humberside club in Hull. Here's Charlie Hughes stepping forward, chesting the ball down, playing it to McBurney on this right touchline, midway inside the Millwall half, but he's crowded out with the ball in field. It falls here to Watson, and it's a ball given away, and Hull will come forward again. McBurney tried to play it into the path of Joe Gelhardt. Another loanee at Hull. They've actually got 7 loan players. They can only pick 5 in a matchday squad, so there's always 2 left disappointed. They have had some injury troubles over recent weeks, so every player has been important for Sergei Yarokovich. Hull had possession. Charlie Hughes, the 22-year-old, very highly rated defender, alongside the experienced Sami Ajayi. Right of the centre circle, into Drame. Looks to move infield from the right touchline, just inside the half that Millwall are defending. Everyone back in their all-white kit inside their own half. There's Gelhardt coming down the right side. He turns to play it up the touchline to Drame. Then it's a ball infield to Lundstrom. Experienced midfielder, goes beyond Sturge, gets it to the byline right-hand side. Has a look up, brings it under control. Lost a ball, and he's off the bar. Will fall back to McBurney. Couldn't get his shot in. It was Kyle Joseph who scored 2 in the reverse fixture, who rose highest from that Lundstrom cross, bounced back off the bar, and then there was a foul in there from McBurney, so it's a free kick. But what a start Hull have made. It remains 0-0, but they're the better side. Yeah, definitely the better side, and it's really good play from Lundstrom just to dink that ball into the middle. There's no way the goalkeeper can come, and Joseph, to be fair to him, he can't keep it any lower. He's stretching, he does well to get the power, direct the header. I think if that is just under the bar, I do think it beats Patterson from that range, crashes back off the bar. Definitely the best chance of the game so far. But yeah, totally agree with you, John. I think Hull have been the better side, more tempo, they're pressing well, they're building at certain times, and that ball in was excellent. So a lucky escape for Millwall. Mentioned that Kyle Joseph scored the 2 goals when the 2 sides met in December. It was a 3-1 win at the New Den. He was also involved in the incident that saw Femi Aziz sent off. It was an alleged stamp. Millwall did contest and try and get that red card overturned. What made Alex Neil more angry is he felt Liam Miller should have been sent off in that game for 2 clear yellow cards. One wasn't awarded. Miller was swiftly substituted not long after, so that probably left a bad taste. But early stages here, 12 minutes gone on Talksport 2. Hull 0, Millwall 0. It was 0-0 when the 2 sides met here last season at the MKM Stadium. Hull unbeaten in their last 7 games against Millwall, winning 4 of them. And despite starting brightly here, it's still 0-0, but Kyle Joseph with a header that's bounced back off the bar. Ball rolling through here to Anthony Patterson, on loan from Sunderland, and probably quite a surprise, Matt, leaning on your goalkeeping talents, that Max Crocombe seemed to be doing all right. It's been number one all season, but Patterson coming in and immediately taking on that number one shirt.
Yeah, I think the only way they would have allowed him on loan was to come in the team. Crocombe, obviously, Burton goalkeeper before, had got ahead of Stephen Bender, who was in from Fulham, who got sent back. But yeah, once I saw Patterson come on loan, I thought it was only a matter of time before he came in between the sticks. And look, Crocombe had exceeded probably expectations, but Patterson is you said there, promoted with Sunderland out of League One and the Championship, and lucky not to be playing in the Premier League. But wow, what a signing Roofs has been for them. But yeah, good goalkeeper, good signing. But I think they've made some, really good signings in that window. But now this is a big moment for Millwall, isn't it? Is that Aziz over the free kick?
It is. Free kick over on the right side, midway inside the whole half of the field, maybe about 10 yards infield from the right touchline. The far side is where you look from high up in the top tier of the main stand here at the MKM Stadium. Players lined up across the 18-yard line. One Hull player stood in an offside position. He'll very quickly get onside. The main targets will be Kramer and Cooper as the ball is floated in to this near side. It's Cooper, and it's off the bar and in from Jake Cooper. And it was the two centre-halves combining. Kramer at the far post, heading it down, and Cooper got free and left-footed. He's been able to turn the ball home from close range, and it is the Lions that pounced first against the Tigers, and those Millwall fans are celebrating on the road again. 13 minutes gone, Hull in 5th, trail to Millwall in 4th by a 1-0.
You knew that there'd be a threat from set pieces. Hull are trying to hold that line, but you called it. It's when players come into that second spell, second phase, and not offside. But Kramer does so well. Because they're holding the line, Kramer peels to the back. It's beautifully floated in by Aziz. There's no way a goalkeeper can come. First contact you want to be defensively, but it's Millwall who get it. Kramer heads it back across. And credit Cooper for that finish. He's a big centre-half, but that's a brilliant volley just to guide it in off the underside of the bar, and that's their first meaningful effort on goal. And they go ahead, but if you do not defend set pieces, you get hurt.
And they're coming forward again, Millwall here. There was a slip on the far side by Hughes. Coburn's low ball into the box, cleared immediately, and first time by Semi Ajay. Here's Aziz, who had that free kick on the right. He's drifted past one challenge. His cross was cut out by Coyle. Now on the edge of the area, a low shot comes in from McNamara, dribbles through to goalkeeper Ivor Pandol. The Hull fans find their voice again, because after being the better side, after 15 minutes here on Talksport 2, it is Millwall that have grabbed themselves a lead, as Matt rightly says, with their first effort on goal, their first entry into that Hull City penalty area. All about the whole reaction now.
Yeah, it's about their reaction and fair to their fans. They stayed with them. Obviously, that's lifted the Millwall fans. But it's so frustrating when you're a manager that your players have done so well, and then it's set pieces. You've got to get that first contact. You've got to get against people. But not only did they lose the first contact and the second, and you often find yourself conceding then. And I just feel that it's good play from Millwall, though, because when you line up those defensive lines on the edge of the box, often the smaller players are towards the back. You put your bigger players in the middle to protect the width of the goal. They exploited that with Kramer getting around the back, heading it back into a very dangerous area. But yeah, really, really good finish. You usually see Cooper heading them in, but volleyed it in off the underside of the bar. Keeper stands no chance. And yeah, now how do Hull react to this?
He scored 10 days ago in a 3-0 home win against Birmingham. That was his first since November. Two in 2 weeks rather. His 4th of the season has given Millwall a massive lead here. Over on Talksport, it remains Mansfield 0, Arsenal 0 in the FA Cup tie. Download the Talksport app if you've not already done so. You can swipe left and right between these two games. This one here on Talksport 2 is Hull 0, Millwall 1, 16 and a half minutes gone. Following us on Talksport 2, the Championship games come thick and fast. Leicester versus Ipswich, a game that will affect top and bottom of the Championship table, as it did last night on Talksport 2. Preston beaten at home 3-1 by Oxford. That meant that Oxford got themselves out of the bottom three, Leicester dropping into it, and now Coburn putting pressure on Hughes. He's been able to turn back to goal inside the penalty area. Running alongside him was Macaulay Langstaff, couldn't quite get the pass into his run, and it means that Hull are able to come forward. They've switched it to this right side. The race is on for Kyle Joseph, but it's ushered back by Zach Sturge, the left back, to Anthony Patterson. It's the clearance that's got height but not much distance, and it's headed back towards the Hull penalty area, and it will drop here to Gelhardt, and the equaliser is immediate from Hull, and Joe Gelhardt with the coolest of finish when the ball came into his path right of the area onto his left foot, and he's just lofted it over Patterson, and Millwall weren't behind for long. They're all level in this playoff promotion battle at the MKM Stadium, and Gelhardt's 12th of the season ends a run without a goal of 7 games, all square once more. We said it would be a cracker, and it's living up to the hype.
Oh, he's been brilliant, and he's taken that so well, but for such a good finish and such an important goal, he's not really celebrating it. Is that because, do you think that someone has got on him for the last few games, not scoring in 7? But he takes that goal so well. He's a good player, in the way the touch it was to come inside meant that the defenders couldn't come to him. He looks at the keeper. It's an excellent finish, and we asked about the reaction. Well, what a reaction that is. 1-1.
Well, Gelhardt, as I say, 12th of the season, 1 in his last 9 after he'd scored 8 in his previous 10. That was all before an injury. He's not quite found the net since returning from a 6-week absence. And as you say, it was tense. I was looking at the referee's assistant. I thought maybe there was a flag about to appear. He was cool with the finish and even cooler with the celebration.
Yeah, that's why I look for the lino as well.
Here come Hull again. This is a game you cannot take your eyes off. Gelhardt on the right of the area, laid back to Regan Slater. Poor cross, didn't get any height on it, and it was easily intercepted, and Millwall will look to try and break. 1-1 at the MKM Stadium on Talksport 2. Semi Ajay shielding the ball on this near touchline. Forward to the halfway line. Cody Drame gets away from Watson. We've talked about Patterson and playoff wins. Watson scored the winner for Sunderland last May that took the Black Cats to the Premier League. He'd already had these move to Brighton confirmed. He's on loan with Millwall, looking to carry out a playoff double, this time with the Lions rather than the Black Cats. Millwall on the far side have possession, trying to calm things down, but that seems impossible at the moment.
Yeah, the fans are right up behind them. But I'm just thinking again back to the Millwall goal and that interview and the build-up from Jakurovic, saying how physical Millwall are, how you have to handle the big side. So he will be disappointed with the goal, but what he will be delighted with is his team's reaction. They didn't fold, they haven't gone under, they haven't felt sorry for themselves, they've gone straight back to it, pressing like they are there. They've been excellent.
McBurnick nearly winning the ball back inside the centre circle. Millwall have it again. Ball roll back to the two central defenders, Jake Cooper and Tristan Kramer. Those two combined to give Millwall the lead after 14 minutes. A lead that lasted for 4 minutes before Joe Gelhardt with a neat finish. On loan from Leeds, had the second half of last season on loan from Leeds. Also the former Wigan Academy player. Over 40 appearances now for Hull. And his 12th goal of this season just a few moments ago. 0-0 on Talksport 2. Remains the same scoreline over on Talksport. Mansfield versus Arsenal. Millwall have a throw on the far side, and both Cooper and Kramer have gone forward for it. Sturge, the left back, has gone across to take the throw, and after everyone lined up for the longer one, it's gone short and it's gone to Aziz. Goes beyond one challenge. It was a heavy pass into McNamara. First touch not great. Slides to hook the ball back out to the right hand side. It's with Aziz, corner of the area far side. A dangerous ball in low into the near post. Stretching out was Langstaff, just an inch away from the toe of his boot. Pandor able to gather. 1-1.
Yeah, Aziz, he's so hard to stop, isn't he? Because he can go both ways and you don't know which way he's going to go. But yeah, he puts that ball into a dangerous area. Langstaff does well to get forward, but just can't quite get a touch on it. But yeah, I thought it was going to be a long throw into the box as well, but they worked it short. I still think McNamara ended up doing well. Didn't need to get that tackle in and keep it alive. But yeah, a really, really open game. Still think Hull have slightly shaded it, but very open game.
Just saw there the pitch playing a part. Sturge with a back pass that didn't really have the power. Would have been fine on the pitches we so often see around the country. Hull FC, the rugby league team, play here. They had a game here on Thursday. The ground staff having to work overtime. They've even had the near neighbours, Hull KR, playing here in a World Club Challenge game. They beat Brinstone Broncos as Drame comes into the box, right side, a right-footed shot, just narrowly over the angle of post and bar. Another chance, this time for Hull, midway through this first half, a gripping first half. Hull 1, Millwall 1.
And players are just direct, and I love it. Drame's playing at right back, but I've seen him get forward a lot of times. I'm sure he had loan spells. Did he at Cardiff? Was it before?
He did, yeah.
And see him marauding. He's a player that I still feel has the potential and the attributes to play higher. Hughes is another player that I love watching, because again, you said there, he's only 22, coveted by, I could see him playing in the Premier League as well, but Drame there, very, very positive. Sturge does well though, doesn't dive in, shows him on the outside and ends up, the shot goes over, but both teams are just literally at it. It's like a playground game, isn't it? It's like back and forth, and really, really good.
Drame loan spells as well as Cardiff, Birmingham and Luton, well over 100 appearances in the Championship, was very highly rated when he was coming through at Leeds. And you're right about Hughes. Hull were fearful he might depart in January, but they've kept hold of him to lead this playoff charge, maybe even an automatic promotion charge. Hull are 7 points clear of 7th. They're 6 points away from second place Middlesbrough. Ipswich in third, just sandwiched between the top two are Millwall and Hull, and they're 2 points retreating in the league. Nothing separating them here at the MKM Stadium. 1-1, 23.5 minutes gone. Groans as possession is given away. Watson just drifts past Ajayi into the centre circle. Drame, brilliant challenge, sliding in and hooking the ball from behind away from Watson, and then receives the ball back. Right of the day, potential there to drive forward the fullback, but he's kept it short and he's passed it to Shemi Ajayi. Lundstrom, a promotion winner with Sheffield United, looks up and then floats the ball over the top. Slater making a run from deep, felt he was fouled just inside the box. No decision, it remains 1-1.
Yeah, I think that's good defending. He's got his body in the way, ball over the top, but yeah, correct decision. And I like the way the refs let the game flow as well. I like it when we're not really mentioning them, are we?
No.
He's just letting it go. It's a good physical game. I thought that tackle from Drame, that recovery run was excellent. So I think in and out of possession, both teams have been really good.
Space here for Sturge, the left back for Millwall, and he's able to drive forward, but he's passed to Watson, who made an underlapping run inside the penalty area left hand side, but there's too much on it. Rolls out for a goal kick. 1-1 on Talksport 2.
Yeah, an unforced error there, and that's a difficult one because Sturge, he's a good player and he's getting forward, and Watson is a brilliant run there. Those runs from deep are hard to deal with. A little box run there, but yeah, unforced error. Shouldn't be playing it out like that. But I think both players will just say, Keeps, just take a second before this goal kick. Let us take a breather, because the tempo of this game has been brilliant, and that's why I love the business end of the season. The feel of it, the atmosphere, you know what you're playing for, and I think everybody's playing their part in this game.
England women are in action as we speak. World Cup qualifier, they lead Iceland by a goal to nil. Lucy Bronze has scored after 22 minutes. Still 0-0 over on Talksport, where it's Mansfield versus Arsenal. Here on Talksport 2, Hull 1, Millwall 1, 25 minutes gone. It's been a gripping game. And you're listening to EFL Live on Talksport 2 with McDonald's. Order delivery on the McDonald's app from 11 a.m. 18 plus. Fees apply to the delivery orders, subject to availability, and prices may vary. Later on Talksport 2, we've got live commentary of Leicester versus Ipswich. Talksport, the home of the EFL. A slight pause, a slight silence. It's been the first time we've had that here at the MKM Stadium. A gripping start to this game. Millwall ahead after 14 minutes with Jake Cooper, equalised by Joe Gelhardt on 18 minutes. Throw into Hull on the far side. Louis Coyle, their skipper and long-serving player, born in Hull, but he had 6 seasons with Fleetwood. He began at the Leeds Academy, eventually made his way home, over 200 appearances for his hometown club. A fan's favourite. Whenever you get a local player, Matt, you're always likely to be a fan's favourite, particularly the way Louis Coyle plays.
He plays like a fan. Of course, he's got the bits of quality, but he just plays with so much commitment.
Hull coming forward on the right, drifting infield. Is Kyle Joseph, had the opportunity to strike, was left alone. Millwall backed off, 25 yards out, left-footed shot driven low across the ground and easily dealt with by Andy D. Patterson.
Watched it well there. They're the ones you have to, especially on a surface like this, you have to concentrate, don't take it for granted. But yeah, routine save for the Millwall keeper.
Patterson had a clean sheet here last season. in a Sunderland 1-0 win, and after back-to-back clean sheets for Millwall in his last 2 games, conceding here, referee waving an advantage here, and Gelhardt has come to the edge of the area, in onto his left foot, shot with a big deflection off Kramer. Patterson, he's racing towards the corner flag, pressured by Joseph, and left-footed, he's skied one into the far right corner as we look from the top of this 2-tiered main stand. It will be a Hull throw. It's 1-1.
Yeah, Rosette doesn't quite have the same effect anymore with all the balls around the side of the pitch. So what some of the lads try and do now is hit it off the sideboard, the sideboarding, so it goes back into the pitch to give them time to get back in the goal. But yeah, didn't take any chances there.
Hull from the throw, have possession. Gelhardt there, goal scorer. Ball into the centre of the field. Hughes called into quick action. Lovely pass with the outside of his right boot, facing the corner flag, back to the halfway line to Semi Ajayi, another player with vast promotion experience, a promotion winner during his time with West Brom. He was an unused substitute in the week at Ipswich after coming back from injury. 32 years of age, began his career in the Arsenal Academy. Ball goes back to Ivor Pandora. It's a long clearance towards the far side, flicked on by Ollie McBurney. Here's Liam Miller, the Canadian international, looking forward to the World Cup in the summer, and Miller is continuing his run, and he's into the area with really quick feet. McBurney trying to get it onto his right foot, was crowded out in the end. Penalty appeals, but they were very hopeful, although Liam Miller in front of the referee has placed his head on his hands. He's adamant that should be a penalty. Brilliant trickery from the Canadian winger to open up that opportunity. McBurney couldn't quite get it onto his right foot. As he did, he went to ground. I didn't think that was a good enough claim, but Hull certainly do, Matt.
Yeah, I thought, firstly, as you say, amazing play from Miller, but well done to Millwall, people working, getting back in, bodies in and around.
And Hull back in the box again, and Lundstrom eyes off the line by Kramer, and it will come back to Gelhardt. His shot blocked, he's looped into the air, it's off the bar, he's in the air, he's given it! Patterson is claiming a foul! It is a foul. The referee saying that McBurney lent into Patterson. The two were almost on the goal line as he came back off the bar. It was slammed into the net. My view was that the referee pointed to the centre spot to give a goal, but he's actually given the free kick, and it remains 1-1 on Talksport 2.
Wow. Can I work with you every week? We had drama at Turf Moor last week, and there we had the benefit of replays, and we both felt that the Barnes handball probably should have, the goal should have stood. We need to see that back. I know people say goalkeepers are a protected species. I don't think that's a foul. I don't. Like, my initial thing, I didn't think it was a penalty on McBurney. I thought it was a brilliant block on the line. We've had so much drama there. But as that ball loops in the air, and I didn't see Patterson overly complain. I just think he's not... Look, Bernie's just been strong. Patterson can't get over him. He's headed it in off the underside of the bar. So I'd love to see it back. The referee, who we've said who's had a good game, I thought for initially he'd given it, but he's given that decision. But I just don't think that Patterson got up over the ball. That's what I think. I think it was just headed in. Soft. I'd be buzzing if I was in goal and I was protected with that. But my initial thought was that's going to stand, so I was surprised, especially with, I think there's been quite a high bar in this game with the physicality. Yeah. But there we go. But my gut feeling says very, very soft, but I'm part of the Keepers Union, so blatant foul. Of course it was.
I suppose then, as part of the Keepers Union, would you have complained more than Anthony Patterson did? Because that was the other giveaway to me. The referee pointing towards the offensive spot. Anthony Patterson stood almost accepting the decision of a goal. There's a yellow card being shown. We cannot take our eyes off this. By the way, over on Talksport, Man 0, Arsenal 1, Noni Madueke just before half-time in that FA Cup 5th round tie.
Was that for Lundstrom? There was all sorts of tackles going in. The referee's just got to keep a lid on this now. I think they're feeling the frustration for the goal. But yeah, he asked me about Patterson. Yeah, he didn't really complain. I don't think he did. And I think the player reaction, as you say, gives it away. And I just think I just thought McBurney was strong and just ushered him out of it.
Millwall's free kick sent into the area, come to the edge of the box where Mitchell is looking to turn to make an angle for the cross. He's got to the byline on the left. He's ran that one out of play. We've had 31 minutes here at the MKM Stadium. It's Hull 1, Millwall 1. Talking points aplenty. Couple of goals in quick succession. And yeah, me and Matt were at Burnley-Brentford last week. We wrote Burnley off at half-time. They came back, we thought they'd won it, we thought they'd lost it, they did lose it. And clearly the producers have taken note. We're going to have a game every week if this is on, Matt.
Well, it's carnage. Me and you both spoke, didn't we, after? But there you've obviously got VAR. You look at things, and it would be interesting if there was VAR here, would he have been sent to the monitor? Because I think it was definitely soft. And when you're a goalkeeper and you feel you've really, really been fouled, you go and you argue. I think Patterson, the way he is, he's so honest, he sort of accepted it. But now you can see the fans definitely felt that was should have stood. We hadn't been talking about the referee much now before. Well, now we are, and the fans are on him a little bit. But he just needs to get a lid back on this game. That tackle went in with a yellow card. This is a set piece that I'm sure going to be floated in. It's quite deep, it's only just in the Millwall half. But yeah, I'd love to see that back, because I was surprised it was disallowed.
We'll have a free kick just inside the Millwall half of the field. Left-hand side, 6 yards infield from the touchline. Louis Coyle, the Hull City skipper, has raised a left arm. And it's a ball that's flying towards the Millwall penalty area. Comfortable headed clearance by McNamara on this near side of the box. A clearance as far as the centre circle, where Coyle has it again, far touchline. Miller, lovely turn using his strength, and now he can sprint into the penalty area. Left hand side, Miller going on the outside with a ball that's sent in and cleared by Jake Cooper. Scored Millwall's goal in this game, the opener. And as quick as Millwall have it, they've given the ball away. Once again, it's gone back to Pandor. The Hull fans, most of them on their feet around the stadium. Not too many empty seats. Clearly the anticipation of this playoff battle. Early kick-off here in Humberside has got everyone out of their bed early. That's a great ball by Joseph towards Burnick. McBurney cleared away by Kramer, tried to angle it through the two Millwall central defenders. Far side, Millwall coming forward with Femi Aziz. A touch that was too heavy, and it's whipped away from him by Louis Coyle, but only to the halfway line, where Millwall will regain possession. And it's Mitchell initially. Alongside him is Negley, the two central midfielders for Millwall. Mitchell again right of the centre circle, just inside his own half. Will play it across to the near side, where Zach Sturges been given an opportunity to come forward. Closed down now by the Hull goal scorer, Joel Gelhardt. It's half-time on Talksport. Mansfield 0, Arsenal 1. Here on Talksport 2, 10 minutes before the break. Hull 0, Millwall 0. And it's Watson for Millwall approaching the penalty area, left-hand side. Challenged and dispossessed by Hughes. That will be a Millwall corner on this left-hand side.
Yeah, and Watson's done well, because when you're not expecting to start, you get the shout late. That can affect things. I think Millwall have been good. I still feel that the reaction from Hull has been excellent, but you saw the challenge there on Cooper from Gelhardt, and the ref said play on, and he jumped into him. So that's what I was saying. I feel a lot of the physicality has been allowed to go. So when a goal like that's disallowed, it did surprise me a bit. But now Hull have to defend this set piece.
Corner on the left, Aziz will take left-footed towards the far post. It's gone over everyone. It'll be kept in play on the far side by Negley, the Netherlands midfielder. A quick 1-2 with Mitchell, and a ball left-footed swinging in towards the 6-yard area. Ajayi rising the highest to clear away for Hull, but they'll have to reorganise in that defence as Millwall have it on the near side, and it's a dangerous ball in, a loop ball in from Femi Aziz. It's straight over the head of everybody and out for a goal kick. 35 gone, 1-1.
Yeah, slightly overhit there, but I feel that a lot, obviously the Millwall goal came from a set play, but a lot of the time Semi Ajayi's position has been good. He's got contacts on. I thought Cooper, when Miller has got in, and Cooper has been excellent with some of his defending. Sometimes you have to mark the man, sometimes you have to mark the space, and Cooper, he's defended very, very well. But Miller does look, doesn't he, I think for Hull, that he can cause real problems. Very tricky player, and he's got down that left hand side a few times, but it's been such an exciting game.
Some scores elsewhere. Grimsby 1, Bromley 1 in League 2. Bromley led for about 4 minutes before Grimsby equalised through Charles Vernon. Hull on the right, Joseph, he's wriggled free of Sturge, he's in the box, left-footed across the ground. It was a shot, I think, initially, but he was also aware that McBurney was arriving. A touch from the striker could have turned it home. Patterson grabbing the ball right at the boot of Ollie McBurney.
Good, brave goalkeeping, so good play from Joseph. I thought Sturge was going to keep hold of him a little bit longer, and he thought, I can't get a yellow card here. Joseph puts it into that area, but I'm not sure if it was a shot or a cross. I think it was more of a shot, and if he'd have just played out a little bit further, then McBurney's onto it. But good goalkeeping from Patterson, because you can take your eye off that, but he holds it well, gets it. McBurney's in there. Any pieces he'd have been putting it in, but positive play again from the wide men of Hull.
Here is Hull in possession with Kyle Joseph, who was the man who thought he'd scored to give Hull a lead, but was ruled out for a foul. And it's a ball from Joseph that is intercepted by Negley. And then it's Langstaff. He's able to play it onto Mitchell. It's one-touch football that's brought Millwall into the Hull half of the field. Laid off by Coburn, back to the halfway line to Mitchell. Plenty getting forward here in the all-white kit of Millwall. And now Jake Cooper striding forward. A pass aimed for Aziz beyond him and deflected by Coyle. Back to goalkeeper Ivor Pandor. Mentioned that following this game today on Talksport 2, Ipswich versus Leicester. Tonight on Talksport, more FA Cup action. 5:45, it's Wrexham against Chelsea. 8 o'clock, Newcastle versus Manchester City. Here on Talksport 2, Hull 0, Millwall 0.
So, John, do you feel that goal was disallowed because McBurney stopped Patterson getting up?
Yes. Yeah.
Made, like they're trying to say, made a back for it and couldn't. Then that stopped him getting to Joseph, who headed it.
Yeah. Again, I know we're foul there, Coburn on Isaiah. The big thing, we both said it, is Patterson didn't complain about anything. He almost accepted, I've been done, I've conceded.
Just couldn't get over him. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so it all happened so quick. The referees got, and that shows you what a difficult decision these referees have. They're right down there, but yeah, I just think it's soft. But as I say, these are those little things, especially this time of season. You look at them, and they can be fine lines that that ultimately end up getting you maximum points, etc.
FA Cup tomorrow on Talksport. Talksport 2, Fulham against Southampton on Talksport. Port Vale against Sunderland, and Leeds versus Norwich. Millwall back in action on Tuesday. Their game at home to Derby will be live on Talksport 2. And next Saturday, Hull will travel to West Brom. 3 o'clock kick-off, that one as well, live on Talksport 2. Kyle Joseph totally taken out by Anthony Watson. Good distance from goal, close to the touchline on this near side. A yellow card for the loanee from Sunderland. And some defending for the visitors late in this first half.
That's cynical, yeah?
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, it is a yellow. But I think these players, how these Hull players are wriggling out of some of these tight situations, and you think they've got nowhere to go. And they've got these lovely little tricks. They get free, and it was 22 on 22 there. And definite yellow card. Watson, just siped it down, didn't he? But this is a really, really dangerous position. It's going to be aimed in. It's an outswinging one, but into that second 6-yard box. Millwall are holding the line, but this is a really, really dangerous position.
A free kick that Regan Slater will take 25 yards from the goal, 10 yards infield from the touchline, right-footed over the penalty spot, a header off the underside of the bar. What a leap that was from John Lundstrom. And it's smashed off the underside of the bar, and from a Millwall perspective, the right side of the line. The flag was raised anyway. I'm not sure if it would have counted. It was brilliantly delivered from Regan Slater. Is that the third time the woodwork has been hit in this game by these two sides?
Oh, what a ball, though, as you say. And that's why they're really hard as defenders, because when they're out swinging like that, it's hard for the defenders to come onto them and head them. Whereas the attacking player, sort of, even with a standing jump like that, can get the purchase on it. And that was a header from 12 yards?
Yeah. And
it was powered in. Patterson's full step. He's beaten. Was it the offside then for the rebound? People going in? Yeah. So that initial effort would have counted. Yeah. And it was a great header. Charm life that's leading. Joseph's hit the bar. He's hit the bar. Patterson would have stood no chance. Great effort. Great delivery. And now free kick at the other end. It's wow. Set pieces, though, were always, I felt, going to be very important in this game.
Free kick on the right, in from the right touchline, midway inside the half that Hull defence. Very similar position to where Millwall scored the opening goal of this game. It's 1-1 on Talksport 2, maybe slightly further back. Liam Miller is a one-man wall. It is Aziz over on that far side, and he will deliver left-footed. Again, it's just floating, hanging in the air. Comfortable clearance from Charlie Hughes. Back out to Billy Mitchell, right-footed. He swung the ball back out to Aziz, who's unmarked on the far side. Places his foot on the ball, then whips in across that Coburn got a header to. 12 yards out, a glancing header that's looped over the bar. It's 1-1. 5 minutes of normal time in this first half remaining.
Yeah, so they're definitely trying that same tactic again, though, for the initial free kick. Drame was, being isolated by Kramer. They tried to get it, but it didn't quite have the purchase on the ball in. But what Hull have done very, very well there is when all the big guns stay up and these next phases come, you often see teams concede because the big boys are in there, people aren't quite picking up. But I felt that Hull squeezed well, picked up well, and ended up being a very difficult header for Josh Coburn. So good defending from Hull there. They've certainly learned from the initial one where they conceded.
Salford 1, Barnet 0 in League 2. Roseri Longella was given Salford the lead just before half-time, trying to get their playoff promotion bid back on track here in the Championship. It is Hull 1, Millwall 1. And it is Hull coming forward with a ball in from Carl Joseph, a teasing one to the far post. McNamara had to get in front of McBurney, far side inside the 6-yard area. Glancing header away for a Hull corner. 1-1.
And we talked about it being a difficult surface, but some of the players have showed some amazing skill running at people. Some of these crosses have been top draw. I just think all round it's a very, very high quality game. It really is. And again, it'll be another set piece to defend, but that cross was brilliant. Keeper can't come for it. Excellent defending from Millwall this time.
The 6-yard area is congested as the corner will be sent in on the far side. Regan Slater, it's low. Oh, it's helped on. Semi Ajayi has stuck a foot out, hope for the best, and it's looped over the bar, flicked on into his path by Hughes at the near post. It was a poor corner, but Hull nearly made full advantage of it, despite not being the best delivery. But it remains 1-1 on Talksport 2. Yeah,
as you say, not the best ball in. It's a difficult one for Semi Ajayi. He sees it late, he just tried to get something on it and direct it, and certainly didn't match the quality of the Cooper volley, put it that way. It was a slightly different one, but it's one of them that he's just trying to get anything on it. But it's a difficult chance, that.
Don't forget the weekend sports breakfast is on Talksport tomorrow from 6 a.m. Join Shabana Hearn and Tony Cascarino. They'll be rounding up all of the action from today's game across the EFL, the FA Cup, as Millwall get themselves a corner on the far side into the final 2 minutes of normal time in this gripping game at the MKM Stadium, live on Talksport 2. Femi Aziz will get a standing ovation from the Millwall travelling supporters, where he will place the ball in the quadrant. The referee's assistant watching on with his red boots. He just positions the ball slightly further in field to where he would have wanted it initially. The main Hull threats have gathered on this near side. Kramer and Cooper, the central defenders. Watson in there as well. He pulls away. It's another low delivery. We've praised the set pieces. I want to say the corners haven't been great. The free kicks have been dangerous.
And I don't know if that's anything to do with the footing or the way they can set the balls, because there's very little. You're like kicking it off very sort of flat sand, aren't they, there? So because both takers have struggled.
Aziz has lofted a high ball in. Pandor, eyes transfixed on it, and makes a big leap amongst a crowd of players, all in green. The Hull goalkeeper makes a great catch.
Yeah, he's one of the most improved players for me at Hull. I think when he first came in, adjusting to the Championship, it was difficult, the physicality, the way they played. But he's a very, very good goalkeeper. He's done well, and that just before half-time as well. Because if you concede just before half-time, it's a big moment. But when the big guns are up, that ball's lofted in, and you come and take all that pressure, the defenders love that. So excellent goalkeeper. Former
Croatian under-21 goalkeeper. Here is Mitchell for Millwall in the middle of his own half of the field, coming forward, looking left and right. Surprised by the space that he has as he plays it into Sturge, who's going to get to the edge of the area before laying the ball off to Watson on his right foot. A cross that was blocked. 2 additional minutes at the end of this first half, where it's Hull 1, Millwall 1. It's 5th versus 4th. 2 points separating these sides in the middle of that playoff picture. A playoff picture that will change next season when 2 more teams will be added into that playoff mix. Lots of chat around that this week. In League 2, Salford 2, Barnet 0, a goal right on half-time by Matt Butcher. Millwall have a free throw-in on the far side. 18 yards out, goes short into Aziz. He'll play it back to Sturge, the left back in the centre of the Hull half. He's taken a big step forward, and a shot that was blocked on the 18-yard line by Charlie Hughes, the Hull City central defender in his second season from Millwall, very highly rated. Scored in Hull's last away win back in January at Southampton. Another throw for Millwall. McNamara will come across to take it. Short into the chest of Negley. Goes back to the centre circle where it's Cooper, Millwall's goal scorer, as things stand level at 1-1. Cooper again, left of the halfway line. He will play it short into Negley, who was set to play on the left-hand side of a Millwall front three, but has moved into the centre of midfield after an injury in the warm-up to Casper de Noort. Millwall are on their left side at the moment, but Langstaff leaping but not getting contact with the ball. It's dropped over his head and it's swept up by Regan Slater. Long ball forward that Gelhardt, the whole goal scorer, will chase, and he'll get there before Negley. Couldn't quite squeeze it in field, but he does it the second attempt, and it's Kyle Joseph. It's a shot that's deflected to the far side of the area. Here's Liam Miller, proved a tricky customer all day. Laid back to Slater, who's closed down, did get a left-footed shot on target, but didn't have the power of Patterson, able to just drop onto the ball and make a save. Right at the end of this first half, we're all square at the break. It has been an end-to-end game, a game we cannot take our eyes off, and it ends a level at the end of the first period. Kyle Joseph had already hit the bar before Millwall had taken the lead. Jake Cooper with his fourth of the season from close range. Free kick on the right was headed into his path by Tristan Kramer. Cooper scoring from inside the 6 yards area. The lead lasted for 4 minutes. Joe Gelhardt with a cool and composed finish. Paul think and feel that they should have taken the lead, but a goal that was scored by Kyle Joseph was ruled out, with McBurney allegedly fouling goalkeeper Anthony Patterson, and then Charlie Hughes with a powerful header that came back off the bar. Half time at the MKM Stadium. It's been a thriller. It's Hull 1, Millwall 1.
John, thank you very much. It has certainly been a quality first half and really goes to show the strength of the Championship as well. Let's review it with Matt Murray then, who is part of our commentary team. And a fantastic first game to kick things off here on Talksport 2, Matt.
Yeah, brilliant game, two good sides. You can see why they are riding high in the Championship, and both going to win it. They are. They've both come out to win this game, played some real quality stuff, defended well at times, worked so hard as well. You know, they're both sets of teams there will be sat there needing a breather, getting those energy things on, a few little bits of treatment, a little rub, a little stretch, and go back out there. But the reaction from Hull City to go behind, they could have, felt sorry for themselves, been a little struggling at home. They'd been the better side. But yeah, it's been an excellent game now.
Matt, you might not want to hear this, but I've had some complaints. Yeah, some complaints from the Goalkeepers Union for what you were trying to say about that disallowed goal for Hull. In all fairness, so it all centred, of course, on Carl Joseph nods in, but the referee gives a foul on Ollie McBurney on the Millwall keeper Anthony Patterson. I mean, it doesn't look like there's much in it at all, does it really? Other than perhaps he's blocking the keeper.
Is that, yeah, so it's if he's made a back or he's stepped right across him. If he's just stood his ground,
that's it. That's all it looks like.
So that's what it looked like initially to me. That McBurney stood his ground, Patterson can't get over him, Joseph has sort of headed it back in, it's gone in off the underside of the bar. That was my initial thoughts, and that happens, you get traffic, you get people in the way. If someone steps across you or deliberately jumps into you, then I think it's a foul. So we haven't got the privilege of replays. You have to go off what you see, like the referee does. But yeah, sometimes you get away with those, and there's times as well, though, as goalkeepers where you're clearly fouled and they say play on. So you win some, you lose some. It's a big moment. The Hull fans are very disappointed, but what's happened is Hull didn't sulk. They didn't sulk for the goal that they conceded. They didn't sulk with that, and they've kept going. And right at the end there, Miller gets in. If his waiter pass to Slater just says come on and hit it first time, I think he scores. But it just had to take that touch, and then again, smart goalkeeping from Patterson. So Hull have shaded it for me. It's been an excellent game. Quality at both ends, but I think the second half's going to be a hard one to call.
Yeah, well, considering we were talking about pre-match how Hull perhaps were going through a little bit of a downturn in form, they certainly don't look like that at all. They look like they're well up for this fight, and clearly well up for trying to secure that playoff spot.
Yeah, they know what a massive win this would be, and what a big couple of games they've got. We talked about it before as well, playing Wrexham next. So if they win these games, that should cement them into the playoffs. After this game, there's 10 games to go. Gives them great confidence. But if they keep playing like this, the performance is excellent. They're working really hard, both wide areas. The fullbacks coming forward. Yeah, they're going to be disappointed that they conceded from a set play. But if you keep playing and you create this many chances, their XG must be decent. They've hit the woodwork a couple of times. Had, for me, a good goal disallowed. They've scored a good goal. Gelhardt was very understated with his celebration, but he's done well. And then they've got options, a few options to come off the bench. So, yeah, this is a good Millwall side who've been good on the road. But Hull, I still feel have been a better team. But at the same time, Alex Neil will go, well, you're going to have to suffer sometimes against good teams like this. You're right in the game. I've got quality to come off the bench in Barry Bannon. They've got the likes of Doughty. Ivanovic, they're a good team as well. So it's a really hard one to call, but I still think out of the two teams, Hull will be slightly happier.
They will, but I mean, they have been the better team in terms of the attacking stats. You know, they had 13 shots in total, just the 4 from Millwall. When you talk about touches in opposition box as well, they've more than doubled what Millwall have done as well. So there'll be lots of positives for Hull to take into that second half. I guess the only issue will be is how they can convert those chances into goals, because they've hit the woodwork a couple of times as well, Matt.
Yeah, I mean, the Lundstrom header, wow. That was a brilliant header. I say the Joseph header before, so Patterson's made a couple of smart saves, and you have to keep believing. There's going to be more chances they're going to get it, but at the same time, the score is 1-1, and that is the key. You know, you as much as you've created these chances, it's 1-1. You have to stay switched on to set pieces, because Cooper took his goal really, really well, and that will frustrate Hull, because it's both contacts in the box, and that's their first meaningful attack. But I think it's just keep doing what you're doing. Keep giving everything, keep being out there, and if you've got no more, your tank's empty, signal to the bench and we'll get people on. And for those subs or finishers, whatever you want to call them, can you come on and have an impact as well? But this game is right in the balance, but yeah, I'm expecting more drama, and I can't wait for this second half, Natalie. I've absolutely loved this game.
I've got good news. Your goalkeeping union membership is okay. It hasn't been revoked.
I want to know who's been complaining, Natalie. Who's been having a pop at me?
Not at all. It's all good. Matt, we'll chat more to you in just a moment. But by the way, the FA Cup taking place right now, live on Talksport. Mansfield against Arsenal. Arsenal took the lead just after half-time, but Mansfield have levelled things up just now. 1-1 it is. So that's an incredible cup tie. You can tune in to Talksport to listen into that one. We're going to have second half commentary, of course, coming up for you, but we'll also look ahead to our 3:00 championship game, which sees Ipswich take on Leicester. You're tuning into EFL Live on Talksport 2 with McDonald's. Order delivery on the McDonald's app from 11 a.m. It's 18 and over. Fees apply to delivery orders, subject to availability. Price may vary.
Your live sports station.
Oh, what a move.
This is Talksport 2. EFL Live on Talksport 2 with McDonald's. The Big Arch is here to stay at McDonald's with its very own delicious sauce. Available from 11 a.m. subject to availability. Price and participation may vary.
When you switch the family's unlimited plans to Vodafone, you save. So while Nan's learning to voice note,
can you hear this? Is this on?
You're saving. While your daughter's setting a new high score in her favourite game.
Get in!
You're saving. While your son's video calling his crush for 3 hours.
I love you more.
You're saving. Save more when you switch your family's plans to Vodafone with Vodafone Together. Eligible plans from the 30th of October. Credit check and terms apply.
Hey, has your owner been looking at new Ford vans recently?
Yeah, was talking about a 26-plate Ford Transit Custom. I nearly stalled.
Tell me about it. Mine is thinking of going electric in an all-electric Ford e-Transit Courier.
I bet they're off for a test drive right now.
Sometimes it's time for something new, and your upgrade awaits at Trust Ford. With 0% APR and customer savings available, order your new 26-plate today. Visit your local Ford dealership or visit trustford.co.uk.
Visit Trust Ford now.
Hello, Mike's Mechanics. How can we help?
Can you tell me what's wrong with my car? It's making a noise.
Right. And is that when you brake or accelerate?
So when I brake, it's more of a... and when I accelerate, it's more of a... If you get me?
Right.
Customers can be hard work. Switching your bank account won't be. We'll automatically move your regular payments over when you switch with the current account switch service.
Amazon Spring Deal Days is coming with deals up to 40% off. So Gary here can get a little deal hunting done, hiding away from his seasonal chores. He deserves this moment to save big on electronics, outdoor, home and more. Is that footsteps, Gary? Get back to work! But just one more peek at the Amazon deals before... Oh, that is lovely. Get ready for Amazon Spring Deals, up to 40% off from the 10th to the 16th of March. Selected products only.
I remember holding her for the first time. Now, I'm about to walk her down the aisle.
Moments like these deserve to be seen clearly. With the Vision Express Eye Care Plan, get 2 pairs from £5.70 a month, including 20% off and an advanced eye test. Vision Express. Step out with confidence. T&Cs apply. Interest-free loan subject to status. VE is a credit broker, not a lender. Representing Adaro Optics Limited. Authorised by the Financial Conduct Authority. Minimum 24-month term.
British Gas have this thing. We call it home care. We'll fix all sorts, and it's unlimited repairs. Expert engineers will solve the upset of boilers not boilering or taps that won't wet. Electrics playing tricks, or a pipe that's broke. We're there for everyone, even blue furry folk. Your home won't feel booby-trapped. It'll feel just like new. British Gas, taking care of things and looking after you. T's and C's apply. Excess options available per repair.
Summer is calling. Book early for your trip to Turkey and get the most out of your holiday. Visit goturkeyair.com now and discover unforgettable experiences. Plan your summer getaway to Turkey today.
The sports machine turns you on to the power of live football.
He fires in a beauty.
EFL Live on Talksport 2.
Tees at Matosiwa. Oh, what a goal! Matosiwa from the edge of the area. What a way to break the deadlock in this crucial game when Ipswich needed a goal to put pressure on those around them.
We know this is a group that's come together, that's a work in progress. Feel like we're improving over the course of the season. You just have to go into each game and give it everything and try and pick up all the points you can.
Good ball, decored over Reid into the penalty area. Square to Ayew, who turns it in. Leicester City so quick on the attack.
I know what we've got to do. Knowing what I've got to do and doing it, obviously, are not always the same thing.
The performances haven't been fantastic, but they've always showed glimpses. It's just about putting the whole lot together now.
This is EFL Game Day Live on Talksport 2. Before we have a quick roundup of the rest of the lunchtime scores, or indeed bring you the second half commentary from Hull against Millwall. Let's take you to Portman Road then and speak to our commentary team ahead of our exclusive 3 p.m. offering, which sees Ipswich take on Leicester. It's a very good afternoon to Ian Danter and Perry Groves. How you doing, chaps?
Hello, Natalie. How are you?
Yes, very, very well. And in this one, if you go back to the start of the season, when you were thinking of Ipswich and Leicester coming up against each other in any game in this season, you'd have thought, well, these are two teams that would have been battling it out for promotion. How wrong we are when you consider where Leicester find themselves right now. It's just dire situations and circumstances that they're in, Perry.
Yeah, very much so. And basically, it's all about attitude. You know, when you get relegated, the Championship, and Dance and myself are lucky enough to do it, nearly every Saturday night. Nat, as well, Brentford coming up from, the Championship into the Premier League. The Championship finds you out because if you're not right psychologically, it tests your character, and then you end up going that Luton found out when they obviously got relegated. So what's happened with Ipswich, they struggled a bit dancing at the beginning of the season, just to adapt again to the physicality of Championship, but the attitude of their players has shone through. And when they've needed to go on a run, which they have, they won the last 3. I was at the Wrexham game when they got completely out-muscled by Wrexham and lost 5-3. And you looked at that and you thought, are they going to have a little wobble? They've won 3 on the trot, haven't conceded a goal. So that tells you a lot about their character. The Leicester City players' character, that is very much up in the air, because when Garrett took over, they got 2 really good away points at Stoke and Middlesbrough, but then they couldn't handle the pressure at home against Norwich, and they lost 2-0, and that could have been 4 or 5-0 against Norwich. So this is pressure at both ends of the table.
Massive pressure, as you say. And Dan's talking of Ipswich then, and Perry's right to say the sort of start of the season, maybe they were a little bit mixed with their form, and you were sort of starting to question whether or not they would be in the mix. But now they find themselves, in a way, in charge of their own destiny by the fact that they have a game in hand over Middlesbrough.
We did wonder what was happening because they did win their first 4 games back at Championship level, and there were just the odd couple of voices wondering whether Kieran McKenna, had he lost his Midas touch, that he got to get to get Ipswich through the leagues, and then they go and win 14 of their next 24. So they've survived relegation far better than Ipswich and Southampton, we have to say, even though Thunder Record's doing a much better job down there at St Mary's. They've done good business in the January transfer window. The squad is very, very strong, and they're patient. I saw here on Tuesday night against Hull City in the game we did for Talksport 2 there that Hull were a very good compact defensive unit, and Ipswich, the fans were just starting to struggle, and then Matasiwa cracked in that incredible goal, and it sets up today beautifully.
It certainly does. And we'll chat more when we build up to it. Thank you, though, for now. That one kicks off at 3 o'clock. OK, the teams now have made their way back out at the MKM Stadium for Hull against Millwall. So let's hand you back to your commentary team of Matt Murray and John Dunn.
Thank you, Natalie. And as we await to get back underway, Millwall making a couple of changes with Luke Cundle and Alfie Doherty coming on at the break. Now, Millwall had to make a change before the game because Casper Denor was injured during the warm-up. Zach Sturge has certainly come off. So that's a like-for-like change. Doherty for Sturge. The two have kind of swapped positions.
I think Tommy Watson's come off
throughout this season. Yeah, Watson. So Watson was the player that started instead of Denor. He was due to be on the bench. Now he's come off at half-time. Very much like-for-like changes, but you would assume that if you're making a change, what you still conceive as quite early, that Alex Neil has seen something he wants to change there.
Yeah, it shows the strength in his squad as well, though. Doughty, he was a star performer in the Premier League for Luton. He's come here, yes, he's had a few injuries and stuff, but he's a Millwall fan as well. He'll give that energy. He's got fantastic set-piece delivery. And then, Tommy Watson, who wasn't expected to play. But Cundle got the goal, did he, against Preston? He's got quality. I'm sure he came through at Wolves, Luke Cundle. He was a young lad at Wolves, good quality player. So again, he gives that quality, that bit more control. He's got a goal in it. So I'm not surprised Alex Neil's changed a little bit, because as we said at half-time, Hull were the better team.
He's scored 2 in his last 3 substitute appearances, Luke Cundle. Warrington born, but you're right, Matt came through the Wolves Academy, made 7 appearances for your former club, and he scored 2 goals in 4 appearances against Swansea. That was both while he was on loan with the Swans from Wolves. So he's on the... he moved into midfield. That's allowed Camille Negley to move to that more traditional position for him on the left-hand side of that Millwall 3 that will be behind Josh Coburn. We'll run through the 2 teams in a moment as the ball goes down the right side. That'll run through to Ivor Pandor, but it does look as though Cundle, who wears 25, will be in that central midfield. So no changes to the whole lineup with Pandor in goal. He's about to take this goal kick down to our right-hand side. There was such a great atmosphere in the first half. It's absolutely quiet now at the start of the second half. It's worn everybody out. Even we needed a half-time break.
Thank you for my brew as well. You're a top man. So I think everyone just needed a breath. I'm sure the managers got into them, let them all have a couple of minutes talking to each other. How do you sort it out? But then hopefully though we get more of the same.
Long ball up to the centre circle. John Lundstrom, formerly of Sheffield United, able to hook the ball back forward, but Millwall back in possession with Doherty, who looks for Coburn down the far side. It's a ball that's bobbling and bouncing and only just goes out of play by the corner flag in that far right corner. So Hull lining up with Pandora in goal. Drame, Ajay, Hughes and Coyle is there back for Lundstrom and Slater in midfield. Gelhard, who scored the Hull goal. Joseph and Miller behind McBurney. From Millwall now, it's going to be Patterson in goal, McNamara, Kramer, Cooper and Doherty now at left back. Cundle alongside Mitchell in midfield, Aziz Langstaff and Negley behind Coburn. And the goals in the first half, Cooper giving Millwall the lead after 14 minutes. Equalised 4 minutes later by Joe Gelhard. Cal Joseph had a goal ruled out. Charlie Hughes smashed one against the bar with a header before half-time over on Talksport. Second half back underway. It is Mansfield 0, Arsenal 1 here on Talksport 2. Hull in 5th against Millwall in 4th, 1-1. And Talksport, home of the EFL. Long throw from the far side was taken by Doherty, a promotion winner with Luton, as Matt said. A ball bouncing around the penalty area before Drame, right-footed, sends it low up to the halfway line. McNamara is there for Millwall, controls and right-footed, plays it across this bobbly surface. Brown patches and bits of sand. Hull sharing it with Hull FC, the rugby league team, and it certainly plays its part. The blue lines showing where the rugby lines were just 3 days ago when Hull FC were playing here in a rugby league game. Here's McNamara over the halfway line and coming down the touchline. A ball played into the path of Femi Aziz, left-footed infield to Billy Mitchell. Came through the Millwall Academy, nearly 200 appearances now for the club in which he came through the ranks. Here's McNamara, where's number 2? The right back, who is another player who came through the academy with the Lions on a sub in the last 2 games. Starting today, that's after missing a handful of games with a knee injury. As Millwall switch it to the left, ball into Coburn. far side of the penalty area, back to goal, the ball bouncing in front of him, doing a couple of keepy uppies before he carries it across towards the corner flag. A cross that was deflected by Ajay, back to Doherty. Doherty's ball is low and volleyed away by Charlie Hughes. McBurney is tussling with Tristan Kramer. That's a battle well worth keeping an eye on. We've had nearly 5 minutes of this second half as McNamara floats the ball down this near side. Coyle again, Matt, the pitch definitely playing a part there with Coyle's touch, an awkward bounce just in front of him.
It's so difficult, but that's why the players are pressing each other. You're seeing the goalkeepers get pressed all the time, defenders get pressed, because you have to play the conditions. It's a difficult one, but then Coyle took no chances. But I love that from Kramer again. There's some really good battles. I think Semi Ajay and Coburn, they're battling. Kramer or Cooper with McBurney, and everyone's backing in and, you know, staying tight, and it's been really, really good.
Kramer, who signed last year from Brentford, as a ball is sent into the penalty area from Doherty. It was headed clear. Mitchell gets there first with Kyle Joseph. It's again Joseph closing down so swiftly when Millwall get the ball. It's with Billy Mitchell. It's a driven ball to the edge of the area, but straight to Liam Mitchell. Mitchell. Billy Mitchell, the one from EastEnders. That's the way you remember his name. I was trying not to go down the obvious route, but there we are. Here's Kyle Joseph, edge of his own penalty area, right-footed to the far side to Cody Drame. Will come over the halfway line. Lays the ball into the path of Gelhardt. A second half that's not quite lived up to the billing of the first half. It was eventful. Here is Hull on the edge of the area. Ball out to Liam Miller. Approaching the box. He's got an overlapping run of Louis Coyle. Coyle getting in the way of Miller, who does deliver his cross, but Coyle was still in front of him. It's headed to Lundstrom. Again, the bounce has caught out the Hull midfielder, was trying to chest it down and potentially get a shot in, but it ended up bouncing awkwardly and it came off his chest and back out. Ball is sent in. McBurney's glancing header 12 yards out, hands on his head. That's probably a chance for McBurney. Got wriggled free from his markers, but a glancing header falls wide of the far post.
Yeah, you can see what he's trying to do, a little eyebrows and just glance it into the far post. But again, I love seeing all attacking play and stuff, even though I'm an ex-keeper, but I have to respect the defensive side of both these teams, the way they squeeze, they nick a yard, the way those big centre-halves of Millwall block and protect that big rectangle. You know, that's what you're doing, that's what you're defending, and it's not by luck that they get contact and block so many of those balls, and whether it's Kramer or Cooper, they complement each other very well. There you go, Kramer's going in, Cooper tucks round. All right, he's given a free kick there, but still every little bit there is really, really good defending. You can see why defensively Millwall have been so good.
What about this at Field Mill on Talksport? Mansfield 1, Arsenal 1. Will Evans has equalised for the EFL side. That is the game right now, live on Talksport. Here on Talksport 2, it is Hull 1, Millwall 1. 52 minutes gone here. Tristan Kramer does need to be careful. He's a yellow card away from what would be a 2-match ban. It would take him to 10 for the season. Hull have a free kick midway inside the half that Millwall defend in their all-white kit. Left of centre, Gelhardt, their goal scorer, is over it. A right arm raised, a cross that's sent towards a penalty spot. Lundstrom with header, dropped to McBurney, right-footed volley far side, blocked by his opposite striker Coburn, and then McBurney's got free, pulled it to Slater, edge of the area, controlled and shot and blocked. Needed to take it first time, but didn't fancy it. Maybe the surface again playing a part, and when he did control it, so quickly closed down. And it's Mansfield 1, Arsenal 2. Eberiche Eze puts the Premier League side back in front.
I just think it's the same as the end of the first half. That was a little bit different. I felt it had to be pulled back, but it's just the weight of the pass back to them.
Here's Negley for Millwall. The game has gone end to end again. Negley away from Ajayi, ball into the box, low to Coburn, intercepted by Lundstrom. On the far side for Hull, they come over the halfway line. Poor ball forward by Kyle Joseph, who's hit the bar in this game. He's had a goal ruled out. He scored 2 against Millwall back in December in a 3-1 win at the New Den. 2 points separating these sides. Hull last season who stayed up on goal difference alone. Millwall with 2 points off the playoffs. They want to go one further this campaign.
Fans trying to lift them now. But do you understand what I'm saying, John? The one in the first half, when it's pulled back to Slater, he couldn't hit it first time and he didn't quite get his touch, and then the purchase on it. And that one from McBurney, yes, it was fired back at him, but his touch was under his feet and he couldn't dig it out.
Liam Miller fouled. Referee gives the free kick. Has gone for the pocket. Will be a yellow card for the Millwall substitute Luke Cundle. And another free kick to Hull. And slightly wider than the one they had a few moments ago, slightly further to this left-hand side. Joe Gelhardt, though, the set-piece expert for Hull, he's positioned himself over the ball. There's a few stretches following us on Talksport 2, Ipswich versus Leicester.
Well, both ends of the table. It's just mad, isn't it? Say Leicester City, okay, struggled last season, but with things that have happened with the ownership, and to think that they're fighting for their lives to stay in the Championship.
The bottom three, Sheffield Wednesday, Leicester, West Brom. Free kick it at the top of the Championship. That's a whipped-in delivery by Gelhardt. Patterson punches. Oh, Lundstrom took it out of the path of Drame. He was clearly lining up the shot. Here's Lundstrom. Good ball into Ajayi. He's in the area. Touched onto McBurney. Across. That's delivered in. Patterson got something on it. Miller's shot blocked. Well, great goalkeeping, Patterson. The ball by McBurney was just floated in, waiting for the touch at the far post. But Patterson, maybe even just fingertips, Matt, but enough to take it out of the path of the whole player that was waiting. We can't take a breath as Gelhardt delivers another ball in Ajayi, waiting for it to drop. And while he was waiting, Doherty going in front of him to clear the ball out. But Millwall will have to defend again as Hull keep the pressure on. Kyle Jovis on the far side, looking to get away from Mitchell. Looked like a free kick. David Webb, the referee, took a look, but he's given the goal kick. 1-1.
And that's what I mean about the high bar. I feel that could be a free kick, but hopefully I'm allowed back in the Keepers Union again now, because we thought Patterson was a little bit lucky in the first half. He's had two really, really good moments there. The set-piece deliveries from Hull are excellent, but if you are holding a high line as a Millwall defence, that's when you need your goalkeeper to come and not only protect the goal, but protect the space. He punches it with two fists, but then he's back up, and exactly what you say, he did not cut his fingernails this morning, because if he didn't get that little touch off it, was it Joseph in there at the back post? He's going to just head it in. So that little touch takes it off his head. Brilliant goalkeeping and good pressure from Hull City.
And an atmosphere inside the MKM Stadium reminiscent of those Premier League games that Hull had here. It's been 9 seasons since they had their last Premier League relegation. Since then, 7 seasons here in Tier 2, a season in League 1. Millwall had 2 seasons in the top flight, the old Division 1, back in 1988 to 1990. Not returned since. 49 seasons in Tier 2, 43 seasons in Tier 3. Here are Hull coming forward, maybe a free kick. Well, we talked about rugby played on this ground. That was a proper rugby challenge, arms wrapped around the waist of Joe Gelhardt by the defender, Jake Cooper, who will certainly be shown a yellow card.
I was just thinking that. They'd have been, was it Hull KR or Hull City?
Hull FC, yeah.
Hull FC, they'd have been proud of that tackle. That was proper. That was the most blatant rugby tackle I've ever seen. If you're not, what, they shall not pass. Wow, it was just, that was unbelievable. But look, now Cooper's going to get back to his job, get back in the middle, try and head it. I think he had to do that though, because they were away then, and they would have been attacking that back line of Millwall. But such an open game.
I just wonder if any of the scouts from Hull FC were wandering around, looked at that moment and went, we'll have him. It's a free kick right on one of the rugby league lines that's been placed on the field here. They've tried to cover it in a green marking to try and make it blend in with the football markings that are on the field today. The free kick was a wasted one in League One. The leaders Cardiff are trailing against second place Lincoln. Top of the table clash there. Cardiff 0, Lincoln 1. Rob Street with a goal 10 minutes into the second half. We've had 58 minutes here at the MKM Stadium. Hull 1, Millwall 1. And one of the Millwall players, Alfie Doherty, came on at half time. He's injured and needs treatment. Gives us a chance to have a break. I mentioned that following us on Talksport 2 will be Ipswich versus Leicester on Talksport after the conclusion of the Mansfield-Arsenal game, which is live now on Talksport. Mansfield 1, Arsenal 2 in the FA Cup 5th round. It's Game Day Live. Adrian Durham taking you around the ground. Goals as they go in. Later on Talksport, 5:45 kick-off, FA Cup 5th round, Wrexham against Chelsea. 8 o'clock, Newcastle versus Manchester City. Tomorrow, across the Talksport network, we've got Fulham against Southampton, Port Vale against Sunderland, Leeds versus Norwich. On Monday, it's West Ham against Brentford. Next week, it's the Champions League as well as the EFL. Millwall are back in action. They're live on Talksport 2 on Tuesday evening. Millwall against Derby. Next Saturday, we've got Hull travelling to West Brom. That's on Saturday, 3 o'clock kickoff, Talksport 2. Next Friday night on Talksport 2, we've got a Welsh derby, Wrexham versus Swansea. And to conclude what will be a thrilling week across the Talksport network, Cheltenham is back underway. What a way to preview it. The Talksport breakfast back on Monday, 6 a.m. Alan Brazil, Ray Parler and Andy Townsend. That will be the build-up to what will be a busy week at Cheltenham. Certainly for Mr. Brazil.
I was just thinking Mr. Brazil will be loving that. See, this break and play, I think, will be suiting Hull. Sorry, not Hull, Millwall, because it's just taking the sting, I think, in ascendancy. Looks like Doughty's struggling here. You know, the treatment he's having. It's not that one where the goalkeeper goes down so you get the tactics on. Because at the moment, obviously, Doughty's only just come on in his half, but I don't feel the Millwall subs have really impacted the game. Hull have been the better team, and a bit like in the first half, the only bit that will be frustrating Hull City is they're not ahead. They've been the better team.
Looks as though the stretcher is going to come on here for Alfie Doherty. Gives us a chance as well in this break. As I said, later on we'll be having live commentary of Leicester versus Ipswich, and the team news is in. Ian Danta is at the King Power Stadium.
Yes, 5 changes for Ipswich. They made 5 here on Tuesday in beating Hull, and Davis, Neil, Burns, Mehmeti and Azon all come in to Kieran McKenna's starting lineup. As for Leicester, they make 2 changes. They've resisted the temptation to bring Jordan James back in at the start, but Decordova-Reid comes in, and so too does Daka. It is second, well, potentially second if they win, against second bottom here at Portman Road. Loud after you're done, John. It is Ipswich Town against Leicester City.
Thank you, Gants. Portman Road, not King Power Stadium. The excitement of what we are seeing here at the MKM Stadium is distracting everyone. A great game in the National League. Bournemouth 3, Bratley Town 3. Zach Brown has just scored for Bratley to make that level. Alfie Doherty didn't need the stretcher, but he's got a member of the medical team at either shoulder to help him off the field. So Doherty, who came on at half-time, will be replaced here by Milano Ivanovic. So a striker coming on for a left-back, and it looks as though, you've got a feel here for Camille Negley, who was due to start the game left-hand side of midfield. He ended up playing in the centre of midfield because of the injury in the warm-up to Casper De Noord. Negley's now going to go to left-back, it would seem. Hull have a throw, and we're just over the hour mark here at the MKM Stadium. Hull 1, Millwall 1. Here's Lundstrom, middle of the Millwall half of the field. Move to the left to Liam Miller. It comes into Louis Coyle. Coyle on the touchline goes infield to Regan Slater, who'll keep in possession. Neither side has really kept possession for any length of time in this game, which has made for a thrilling encounter. All square at 1-1. And just as I say that, Hull give possession away. Over on the far side, it's with Macaulay Langstaff. Langstaff, a regular goal scorer for Notts County, got the attention of so many teams. Scored 70 goals in 96 appearances, but he's only scored 4 in 65 for Millwall, 3 this season. As a free kick is spotted by the referee's assistant, David Webb, the referee, acknowledging his assistant's work. It looks as though the 2 managers, Alex Neil and Sergei Yakirovic, are just having a conversation.
Yeah, that could be a bit niggly down there. But going back to Millwall, I think that their recruitment's been really good, and Steve Gallen, he works so hard for them. He's good, he's due diligent, he convinces players to come. And I think if you're going to get out of the league, your recruitment has to be good. And when you're like Millwall, where your budget's not as big as others, that's where you've got to try and get that advantage. But this will be a blow. Hopefully Doughty's not seriously injured, because we talked about it in the build-up. You don't want to be losing key players like that.
McBurney tries to wriggle his way free of a challenge for Femi Aziz. 25 yards from the Millwall goal. Millwall cleared up to Coburn. He was manhandled by Ajayi. In fact, the other way around, Coburn backed into Ajayi. He trots away, the Nigerian defender. Coburn with a shake of the head, arms outstretched, pulls his shirt to say that the foul should have gone the other way. Free kick taken quickly out to Cody Drame. First touch brings him infield on the 1-2 with Regan Slater. Lundstrom moving himself in a position to receive a pass as it's come to the left-hand side here with Liam Miller, the Canadian, who had a brief spell on loan with Preston a couple of seasons ago when he was with the Swiss side Basel. Here's the edge of the area, McBurney 1-2 with Gelhardt. He's into the box, Gelhardt's cross, it was dealt with by Kramer, cleared back to Miller, left of the area, out to Lundstrom. Again, the surface, I think, playing a part in the poor touch from Lundstrom in the surface on the edge of the area that's really bobbly and brown with the surface. Here's Gelhardt onto his left foot, a shot that was blocked by Kundal inside the area, cleared up but only as far as Hughes, who heads it forward back to the penalty box that Millwall are having to defend in numbers right now. Out to the right where Drame can play the ball infield to Lundstrom, 35 yards out, running alongside him is Hughes first time to Miller with two Millwall defenders trying to stop the cross. He's got Hughes, the centre-back, in a left wing position right now, the former Wigan defender. Here's Miller. Hughes is trying to just make an angle for the pass, but everywhere he goes, a Millwall player is stood in front of him. It has come to Miller. Lovely touch into Lundstrom. Back heel to Coyle. A touch. He had the opportunity to send it in the box, didn't like the option, so he's kept it short on this near side touchline. But it's Regan Slater through the legs of Femi Aziz into Coyle. First time to Miller. Still, they don't want to send it into the box. They're going to work it with a 1-2. Miller to Gelhardt. Miller's cross does come in low, away by Kramer. Only as far as Coyle. Again, McBurney wants the cross. He's manoeuvring himself in the area, trying to make the angle for that cross. But Coyle's ball was low and easily intercepted. Millwall could clear. That was a great spell of pressure from the home side.
It was really good play from Hull. Lots of intricate passing, but excellent defending as well. There weren't any gaps. Everyone was working. People weren't diving in. They were blocking it up again. So it's just real good quality in both ways. Still with Negley at left back. You'd have thought Hull might try and get the ball out to their right hand side and attack Negley, because he's not, a natural left back. Can you get at him? Can you drive at him?
You're listening to EFL Live on Talksport 2 with McDonald's. Order delivery on the McDonald's app from 11 a.m. 18 plus fees apply to delivery orders, subject to availability. Prices may vary. 66 minutes gone. Hull 1, Millwall 1. 5th versus 4th in a championship promotion playoff clash, and we're all square on the field. There are 2 points between these sides in the middle of that playoff race. As the ball comes in, Millwall with a rare attack. It's Coburn. Pass wasn't quite into his path from Ivanovic. The ball does come in from the left-hand side from Negley. It's Aziz who fouls Louis Coyle, and a free kick inside the penalty area to the home side. Can we see a winner in this, Matt?
I felt that for some reason, when Hull had all that time, all those, getting into the box, those opportunities, and I thought Alex Neil would have got into his team, wasn't surprised to make the changes. And with how good Millwall have been away, I thought they were going to come out in the second half and maybe they take charge a little, but Hull have been the better side. So if you look at the way the game's panned out and the stats and everything, then you would say Hull are going to be the one. You feel there's got to be some big chances, but you know what this championship's like, and just there when they go on that rare attack, and when you got the likes of Aziz and Coburn in the side, or a set piece, then Millwall are still right in this game. So yes, I do believe there'll be a winner. Hull are one shade in it, but such a hard game to call, really is.
Hull at home this season, winning 9, drawing 3, losing 6, conceding 28 goals here on the Sheffield Wednesday, with 38 have conceded more. Millwall with the best, or joint best away record in the Championship, along with Wrexham. Both of them so far this campaign have won 8 games apiece away from their own patches. Hull have only won one of their last 5 here at the MKM Stadium. Right now on Talksport, it is Mansfield 1, Arsenal 2. Here on Talksport 2, Hull 1, Millwall 1. Download the Talksport app. You can switch between the 2 games later on. More FA Cup coverage when we've got Wrexham and Chelsea and Newcastle versus Manchester City on Talksport. Following us on Talksport 2, it will be Ipswich versus Leicester. Talksport, the home of the EFL. Millwall have got a free kick just in front of the centre circle in the half that Hull are defending in their amber shirts and black shorts. Away to our right-hand side, it will be Camille Negley to take, joined last January from Sparta Rotterdam. 11 games without a goal. He has shown his flexibility. Normally, though, in the 3 positions behind the main striker. He's a left back at the minute, and he's going to take this free kick that floats up to the far side. A header into the box that's cleared away by Semi Ajayi. Completed clearance by Louis Coyle. Wouldn't drop to Miller, who was alongside two Millwall defenders, and McNamara has come away the ball and steered it back to Patterson. All in black just outside of his penalty area. A ripple of applause from the home crowd, who have been raucous in their atmosphere in this game that remains at 1-1.
Yeah, they're loving what they're seeing. I just wonder, will Hull be making a change soon, maybe, just to get some fresh legs on the pitch and keep it going?
There's a ball there that's bounced, and Drame let it bounce, and he's allowed Negley to get there first, left corner of the box. Backed up by Billy Mitchell, plays it first time in field to Kundal. Mitchell again, he's pulled out to that left-hand side, and it's a lovely ball down the flank into the channel to Langstaff. It's going to come back. This time it's Millwall's turn to just keep possession on the left-hand side. They moved it to the right. This is Kramer stepping onto it and playing it first time to Femi Aziz. So often a creator with a low ball in, and they're going to get a tap in. Is it the substitute? It is. Ivanovic from close range, and the goalkeeper Pandor came diving out from his area to try and stop the cross, didn't make contact. It was such a teasing ball, and what an impact from the substitute Mihailo Ivanovic to stroke home his 8th of the season. He'd not scored in his last 5. What a huge goal this could be with 20 minutes remaining. 5th place Hull trail to 4th place Millwall. 2 goals to 1.
And there you go. They've got options off the bench. They've got a strong bench, and as much as Hull have been in charge, that's their first real effort in the second half. But it's a horrible ball because Hughes doesn't want to cut it out. He's worried about putting it in his own net. Pandora thinks that Hughes is going to get a touch on it, and then he misses it. And I said how good Pandora has been, and it feels like I'm caning goalkeepers, but he's either got to come and get that or stay at home. But it's a really, really good ball in. Takes nothing away from Millwall with the play. That bit of control. Excellent ball in. And he couldn't miss, could he? He couldn't miss.
Felt like he tried to miss. The touch was so delicate.
It just sort of hit him, didn't it? And rolled over the line. But yeah, he's in the whip for the goal. Good goal from Millwall's point of view. From Hull's point of view, they'll be really, really disappointed. We thought they were going to make changes, but now these players are going to have to come on and get Hull back into this game.
Yeah, here come the changes. Lewis Kumas is coming on loan from Liverpool. Amir Hancimatovic is coming on as well. They have replaced John Lundstrom, who was on a yellow card, and Kyle Joseph. Kumas has he started the last 2. They were his only starts. Both of his goals this season, since joining Hull in January, have both been as a substitute, both as late substitutes. He scored a winner on his debut at Blackburn, and he scored in the 4-2 home win, the last home win that Hull got against Derby. So 2 in 8, both as a substitute. Can he repeat the trick? The 20-year-old son of EFL legend Jason Kumas.
Played against him a few times at West Brom.
He was a talent.
Very, very good player. That West Brom side was good that he was in.
Here's Louis Coyle coming forward for Hull. They responded within 4 minutes when they went behind in the first half. What is their response like after going behind to that goal from substitute Mihailo Ivanovic after 70 minutes of this game? The 21-year-old Serbian, who had gone 5 games without a goal, as Matt said, couldn't miss. He was millimetres from the goal line, from the cross that was sent in.
Stop making me feel old. So when you commentate on the lads' sons that you played against, it's when you go, oh wow, am I really that old now?
I feel you, Matt. I feel you. It's a long throw. The other one is when you commentate on someone that you still think is in their early 20s, and they're now like late 20s, early 30s.
Yeah.
Here's Anthony Patterson, all in black with some green markings down the front of his jersey and his shorts as it's cleared long over the halfway line, helped on by Coburn, away by Louis Coyle, back to Coburn. Didn't catch that at all right, and it's looped out to play on this near side touchline. It's Boreham Wood 4, Brackley Town 3, a thrilling game in the National League. A penalty from Zach Brunt has given Boreham Wood the lead again. Here on Talksport 2, Hull 1, Millwall 2. As 5th takes on 4th, Millwall will close the gap even for a short time onto 2nd place as they come forward here with Coburn. Bounced off Hughes, but he will win a free kick, and it looks as though Hughes will go in the book for that. He will. It's a yellow card.
Yeah, I think correct decision, and And they're going to take their time now, Millwall. And it's for a Hull point of view, you'd be looking and thinking, we've been really good. We've got into good areas. We've played well. We haven't conceded many opportunities. But fair play to Millwall, they've been clinical. They've taken their chances. It's a good away performance in the way they defended resolutely, because Hull have got into a lot of good areas. But I can't think in this second half of a serious save that Patterson's had to make. Yes, he's punched a few balls clear, he's tipped balls on, but he hasn't actually made a big save in his second half.
So as things stand, Millwall, if they could hold on to this league, would be just 1 point off second place Middlesbrough, as he wraps his left foot around the ball from 35 yards out. Ambitious, confident. Either way, it's flown over the bar, but he certainly fancied himself from there.
You can see what he's trying. I think Emi Martinez got done a bit like that recently at Villa Park. I can't remember who it was who stepped, because he is a goalkeeper thinking, I'm going to protect the ball, floated in, especially the free kicks that Millwall done before. He's just tried to catch him out there, but yeah, a bit too much on it, and the goal kick.
The other bonus for Millwall as Kumas races on. Played as a centre forward in the week, Kumas, in their defeat to Ipswich. Usually does play anywhere across that line of three behind the striker. Looks as though he's playing high up the field here to try and join McBurney and Gelhardt as a front three rather than behind the striker. There was Adzimidovic in the centre of midfield for Hull, played out to the right back. Drame back to Ajayi, edge of his own area. Drame again, Hull trying to keep possession. Drame just about keeping the ball in play as he plays it up the far touchline. Foul as Adzimidovic is nudged to the ground. Free kick to Hull. Hull 1, Millwall 2. 75 minutes on the clock here on Talksport 2.
Did someone get a yellow card there? Just
it's Mitchell, isn't it? But
yeah, I think he just kicked the ball away or slowing it down.
Millwall, by the way, play tomorrow. They are at Queen's Park Rangers, 4:30 kick-off. But they will feel the pressure of the Lions of Millwall just roaring up behind them. Just a point now, Millwall behind Middlesbrough. The other bonus, of course, if Millwall keep the win, is that gap they create to 7th. It would be 12-point gap to 7th. That's massive at this stage of the season. 10 games to go for both of these teams after today's game. Millwall leading 2-1. They would extend a winning run away from home of 4 successive wins. Great time to hit a run like that. Here's Miller, 18 yards out on this near side touchline, played infield. It's a ball that was looking for Slater down the channel. It will just about roll out. There was a divot there. It could have held up on that. It will be a goal kick. 76 gone, Hull 1, Millwall 2.
Just slowing it down. The referee's having a little word now to Patterson, saying, look, you speed it up a little. You can't take so long. But that's what I just feel with this Millwall team. You just look at it. It's just got that bit in know-how. They get the goal, and then you can just take the sting out of it, kill the game. And fair play to these Hull fans. They've stayed with the team. They've seen the team have been playing well, but they've just not quite got, had that clinical edge. Whereas for Millwall, the few opportunities they've had, they've taken and defended very well.
Cardiff 0, Lincoln 2. First versus second there. Dom Jeffries with Lincoln's at second. The other game in the Championship, still at stalemate. Blackburn 0, Portsmouth 0. We're in injury time on Talksport, where it's Mansfield 1, Arsenal 2, and an FA Cup 5th round tie. You can make full use of the Talksport app, and you can slide left to that game. You can slide right back here to Talksport 2, where we've got 5th against 4th, and it's Hull 1, Millwall 2. Hull back in action on Tuesday night. Their game at home to Derby, live on Talksport 2. Later today on Talksport 2, it's Ipswich against Leicester. Here's Coburn. It's broken free midway inside the Hull half, and he's been able to carry the ball to the edge of the box, and a shot that will seal the 3 points for Millwall and close the gap on the automatic promotion places. Coburn was allowed far too much space, and it's a right-footed effort that's nestled into the bottom left corner. Only his 5th goal of the season, but it could be one that proves so crucial to the Lions of Millwall. They lead here against Hull by 3-1.
Wow, and a lot of Hull fans are starting to leave now. You've seen a few of them go. They think that's it, but Semi Ajayi, he's been excellent. That pass inside straight to Coburn, but he's still got a lot of work to do, and he drives at that Hull City defence. They back off a little bit, then to be fair to Hughes, he thinks I'm going to engage you now, but that is a clinical arrowed finish, hard and low into the bottom corner, down to Pandor's right hand side. The question marks about the second goal with the Hull goalkeeper, nothing he could do there. It's just a brilliant finish, and Josh Coburn, he's worked so hard, and then that's the chance he wanted. But I say a lot of work to do. For me, it's 3 goals, 3 points, and it is a very, very good away performance from Millwall.
It's his 3rd goal in his last 5 away games for Josh Coburn. He scored in the 2-0 wins at Wrexham and at Watford, and it's a 3rd goal here that almost guarantees 3 points as Hull try and snap back, but Gelhardt's header is comfortably dealt with by Anthony Patterson. England women in action, about 10 minutes to go in their World Cup qualifier. Georgia Stanway has got a second. They lead Iceland by 2-0 in League One. It's Huddersfield 1, Rotherham 0 in a Yorkshire derby, West versus South, as we approach the final 10 minutes here at the MKM Stadium on Talksport 2. That's a lovely turn by Ivanovic, who scored the second, nearly slipped the ball into the path of Coburn, the scorer. Coburn did miss 3 months of this season with a quad injury, returned in January. This is the 5th league game he started since then. 3rd in a row. How do Hull respond? As you said, Matt, most of the, or not most, but certainly a handful of supporters have started to head for the exits on this Saturday afternoon. And here is Liam Miller. The goal now would certainly bring them back into it. Louis Coyle on the byline, a ball in and dealt with. It's cleared away anyway, will do by Cundall, as Millwall lead 3-1 on Talksport 2.
But again, they're so organised. There is a very, very well drilled defensive unit. They have defended so well, and as much as Hull have had play, the way they're organised, they say no gaps, giving up the wide areas, showing players outside, getting the blocks in, it's been brilliant.
Referee waving play on after Hughes was clearly fouled by Coburn. Hull had the ball and they're adjacent to the Millwall penalty areas. Miller steps in right-footed, a shot that was arrowed towards the top right corner. Kramer got his head in the way. That's the kind of defending you need if you're going to make it through to the playoffs or beyond. Here come Hull again. Miller on the left-hand side. McNamara, who's struggling here with an injury, is limping away after making a challenge on Miller. It's a throw-in. Hull are going to make another change, and they're going to bring on Kieran Dowell, another loanee. Dowell on loan from Rangers, formerly of Everton. William Miller is the player that has come off. He's threatened to create Miller, but he's not quite found the target in terms of his balls into the area after great approach play. Dowell coming on, a really neat passer of the ball. They'll need that now.
Yeah, he's an experienced championship player, so they just need to respond quickly.
Coyle's cross, Kramer there again. Right-footed, volleyed away. Ball back towards the edge of the box. This time it's Mitchell leaping with Slater. Behind him was Kramer. Again, it's an anywhere will do ball. It's Negley who will close down Ajayi, who's got plenty of space on that side of the halfway line. As quickly as it comes forward, Millwall back in possession. It's gone long up to Coburn. Just in front of him was Hamid Aksimovic. Here's Drame. Free kick given against Langstaff on that far side. Drame has stayed down, but his teammates urging him to get back to his feet because they need to take this as quickly as possible. Well, the Hull fans were loud and proud, but listen to those Millwall supporters now.
Rightly so, isn't it?
Yeah.
The team, they've travelled all this way, early kick-off, all the way up from London. It's far. And their team have put a right fight in, a right battle, and show quality at times as well.
Potentially their first win here since July 2020, a 1-0 win. Ryan Leonard, injured today, was the goal scorer. Back then, Hull unbeaten in the last 7 games against Millwall. Millwall have won 5 of the last 7 in the Championship, 8 of the last 12 before today. That run looks set to continue with 8 minutes of normal time remaining here on Talksport 2. Space for Cundall to turn and bring the ball up to the halfway line. Right-footed into the path of Femi Aziz. The former Reading man will take on Coyle, but Coyle with a great challenge and steps away with the ball up to the halfway line. He's got nothing in front of him though, the Hull captain. He'll be disappointed, and I think that bounced back off Coyle's shins. It did. It will be a Millwall throw. They're about to make a double change, but surely Coyle needed plenty of options ahead of him there.
I think they just ran out of steam now, and like you're looking at the strength and depth, and I just feel that these injuries that Natalie talked about in the build-up, that is affecting them. Hull haven't got the options to come on. They've given everything, but now it's just Millwall know how to see this game out, and they're making the changes, running it down, and the players that have come on now are starting to have a real impact.
Changes for Millwall, seeing Tierno Ballo and Will Smallbone coming on. They are replacing Macaulay Langstaff and Josh Coburn. Coburn, who scored the 3rd goal, his 5th of the season. Barlow, an Ivory Coast born winger. Only scored 1 in 27 for Millwall. Started the majority of the games this season, but he's had to make do with being a substitute in the last 7 games, including today. Last 7 minutes. Will Smallbone has been out injured recently. A return for him, the former Southampton midfielder. As the ball will drop to Ivanovic, and it's into Smallbone. First touch is a delicate touch forward, but straight to Shami Ajayi. Hull have possession. Coyle going long, but there was only McBurney there as a target. It's bounced beyond him and straight through to Anthony Patterson, who will look to eat up as many seconds as he can. He teases McBurney by just placing his hands either side of the ball that's on the ground before collecting it swiftly as McBurney, the former Sheffield United striker, motions towards it. Patterson with a clearance up and over the halfway line, brought under control by Kundal, who allows McNamara to send it high to the edge of the penalty area. We've got a goal in the other Championship game. It's late. It's Blackburn 0, Portsmouth 1. 2 teams at the bottom end of the Championship, and it looks like Portsmouth might be carrying on their good recent run. Here's Hull, who have struggled recently at home. It could be now just 1 win in 6 here at the MKM Stadium. They will remain in the playoff places, but not quite as close to the automatic promotion places as they would want. To switch of play. Kumas with poor control, cleared away. Hull throw. It's Hull 1, Millwall 3.
Yeah, but again, straight on in the Millwall defence. As that ball's travelling, they're all sliding over. So they're just happy to see it out now. I thought Josh Coburn had been excellent. What a focal point he'd been.
Kumas has managed to get himself into the box. Felt he was having his shirt pulled by Luke Kundal. All of the Millwall substitutes have had a real impact since coming on. Kundal has been so busy in that midfield area. Over 21,500 supporters inside the MKM Stadium. The majority look set to be going home unhappy. Hull 1, Millwall 3 here on Talksport 2. Millwall will close the gap to Middlesbrough in second to just 1 point, and they will extend their gap away from the team in 7th to make sure that playoff position feels as secure as it possibly can do, with 10 games remaining after this one for the Lions, who are in real form, losing just 1 of the last 7 in the Championship. Free kick that Millwall will take some time over. McNamara is over the ball. It's 6 yards over the halfway line. Infield from the edge of the technical area. It's Alex Neil, the promotion winner with Norwich. He stood all in navy blue, a rain jacket, his hands in his pockets, watches the free kick that's drifted to the far side of the box. Will bounce down in Hull's favour. Here's Kumas sprinting forward over the halfway line. Mitchell is shadowing his moves as Kumas brings it on onto his right foot, whips it away from Mitchell. 2 arriving in the middle. It's a cross from Kumas. It's a header from Cooper. Had more time than he realised there. It's a glancing header that Drame will keep infield on the far side by the corner flag. Back to Slater on the edge of the box. Slater gives it back to Drame. Needed to get the ball in. He's giving it back to Slater again. Left-footed cross coming out from the crowd was Kramer. And a header that's only as far as Hughes. Hull have tried to box Millwall into that penalty area. Now every time they clear it, it comes back in favour of the team in amber shirts. McBurney with his back to goal, plays a 1-2. McBurney on the left, tried to pull it back. It was blocked by Kramer. There are handball appeals, but it will only be a corner to the home side, who trail 3-1.
Honestly, it's textbook defending. You work at this in training again and again against overloads. Every time the ball goes back, someone's out, someone's close. If someone comes inside, people are releasing. Centre half gets played around, other one covers round. They have been so good defensively.
A corner for Hull. We've got 3 minutes remaining. They trail 3-1 against Millwall on Talksport 2. A corner that's into the 6-yard box. Kramer, the ball is stuck to his head every time it goes in that area. Brilliant defending from Kramer. Former Brentford midfielder. Scored a goal and got 2 assists. He was an attacking threat 10 days ago in the 3-0 win at home to Birmingham. Well, today he's been a man mountain.
Oh, he's been brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And Alex Neil will love that. And we talked about Lewis Coyle in the build-up for Hull and how important he is, and he's a warrior. These centre-half partnership for Millwall, excellent. Excellent. I bet the fans absolutely love these two because they're so good. But yeah, Kramer's, it's intelligence as well, because they're big boys, aren't they? But I've not seen them get exposed. I've not seen them get ran down the side. And yeah, and they can play a bit as well, but I think they've defended really well, marshalling people, and they look a big physical presence. They're threatening both boxes. They've been excellent.
Full time on Talksport. Mansfield 1, Arsenal 2. following that game and the post-match reaction. It'll be Adrian Durham with Game Day Live, all the goals as they go in and updates from around the ground across the country in the FA Cup and the EFL. Following us on Talksport, it is Ipswich against Leicester as Hull have a throw in here. It's into the corner, flag to Lewis Kumas, but they've given possession away to Femi Aziz, and Aziz, no nonsense, just clears the ball up to the halfway line. We're into the final 90 seconds of normal time in this Championship playoff game on Talksport 2, and it's into the area from Gelhardt and a chip to Slater, and Kumas miscued it, and then a shot coming in that was blocked and cleared for a corner from Admatovic on that far side. In fact, it was Dowell who caught it right-footed on the volley. Great ball in. Kumas, though, it was his chance, and right-footed, he skewed it wide of the target. It stayed in the area, but it wasn't the finish he wanted. Corner whipped in. Patterson with a big claim inside the box, near his goal line. Super catch, and that's the cue for more Hull fans to head for the exits.
Well, we talked about Negley not being a natural left back. He got the first time they exploited him, they put the cross in. Kumas will be disappointed. He is at the back post there. He's just got to guide that volley in, hit the target, because it's an open goal if he hits the target, and then it would have been game on. It would have been a grandstand finish. But for me, that's probably a little, that's it now. But a very, very good take from Patterson to take the pressure off. But a massive, massive chance for Hull City, who've kept going right to the end.
As we approach added time at the end of this game, Hull are going to make two more changes with Cathell, McCarthy and Toby Collier coming on, replacing Coyle and Slater. Collier, who spent the first half of this season on loan with West Brom from Manchester United, not involved in the week but comes on today. Again, mentioned in the first half, we've got 7 loan players in the squad as we go into 7 additional minutes. They could only play 5 in the matchday squad. Collier was the unlucky man during the week. McCarthy coming on, the Irishman joined last January, made just 7 first-team appearances before today. I think it's his height that Hull might try and take advantage of as we go into these additional 7 minutes at the end of this game, in which Hull trail here at the MKM Stadium, live on Talksport till Hull 1, Millwall 3. Millwall will be a point behind Middlesbrough in second in the Championship table. Middlesbrough play tomorrow. They will be feeling the pressure of Millwall after this win today. And a performance, Matt, I know we've got a few minutes to go. It's a performance that it had everything, didn't it? Dangerous on the break, dangerous on set pieces, defensively so sound from Millwall so far.
Yeah, and I saw Andy Marshall, the ex-Millwall goalkeeper, before the game, and he watches a lot of Millwall, and he said exactly that's what they'll be. They'll be fine without having the ball. They'll be resolute, but then they attack with real quality, real purpose, with the likes of Aziz, Coburn coming on, and then they've got the options off the bench. So yeah, it's been a perfect away performance.
One more ball into the Millwall box. It was cleared away by that man, Tristan Kramer. He's ready again and set as Collier's first touch is across that came off Pundle's head. Nearly fell for Kumas, couldn't get there quick enough. It will stay in play. Kumas coming in from the near side touchline, a left-footed ball hanging in the area. Patterson again and through a crowd and claims high, leaping the loanee from Sunderland, who's eyeing up another Championship promotion.
That's what he is. He's a number 1 goalkeeper. Okay, he's not enjoyed being at Sunderland on the bench in this Premier League, where Roos has been excellent. He's not been playing. He said, "Get me out to play. I need to play." And he's come in here in a team. Filled some big boots in Crocombe, have been doing well, and I think he's been excellent. All his handling has been really, really good. He's been calm. They're certainly not taking any chances playing out from the back, which you see a lot now. His kicks have been long, but I think Patterson has. But I think every Millwall player has been brilliant though. They've done the things well, been tidy, and some really, really good claims from him this afternoon.
Millwall's away form just keeps getting better. This means they've only lost 4 away games, the joint best in the Championship. They've lost only 1 of their last 7 away from home. This win here, assuming it continues to be the case, with 5 minutes of injury time remaining, will mean 4 consecutive away wins. It's the best run of form they've had away from home since 2018, when they won 6 on the bounce. If that run continues, they will certainly keep the pressure on the automatic promotion places, as the ball is looped forward by Cundle, away by Charlie Hughes, up to McBurney on the halfway line, a header down into the path of Dowell. Move to the right, Drame will run forward and sprint into the Millwall half. Cundle going across from that central midfield area to keep an eye on the former Leeds fullback. Collier back out to the right side. This time it's Joe Gelhardt who got the Hull goal, but they trail 3-1. Gelhardt with a loop ball in. It took a deflection and will be a Millwall corner. We've had 3 minutes of the added 7 at the end of this first half. Here on Talksport 2, where it's Hull 1, Millwall 3. Following us will be Ipswich and Leicester from Portman Road. Corner first, though, for Hull. Hatzimatovic will take on this left side. It's right-footed towards the far post. It came off the head of McCarthy. It will be cleared back out to this near side. Hatzimatovic again, a right-footed cross that's looped towards Ajayi. He'll be a threat. Drops down into the path of the newcomer Tieno Bale. Here clears it away. It will be a Hull throw-in. There isn't a long throw option, so it's gone short into Gelhardt. Back to goal. Bale was stuck to it. Gelhardt able to get it to that right side. Collier's cross is blocked by Smallbone. Over by the corner flag in front of the Millwall supporters. Every challenge is applauded by the travelling army of Lions supporters. Lovely touch from Gelhardt. He's away from Smallbone. Ballo comes across, trying to stop the cross coming in. Teed up to Hughes. Smallbone does stop the cross. That ball will not enter that penalty area, is the stance that Millwall are looking to take in injury time. Here on Talksport 2, Millwall starting the day in 4th. Looks set to at least briefly leapfrog Ipswich. They follow us here against Leicester. They started the day in 3rd. As Collier has had to track back into his own half of the field, and he'll angle the ball back to Ivor Pandor. He'll certainly be looked upon for that second goal, won't he, Matt, that led to what has set Millwall up for this win.
Yeah, it's a massive moment. Look, it's a really horrible one for a goalkeeper and a defender, but yeah, I think if he knows what's in there, he can come and get it. Be interesting if he gave a shout. Why did Hughes leave it? But yeah, good quality from Millwall, but from a Hull point of view, preventable. All their goals have been really preventable, the Hull point, from Hull.
Here's a late break coming forward here for Femi Aziz. There's 3 joining him. Millwall certainly not sitting back. They're going forward for a 4th. Here's Ivanovic, a shot blocked by Ajayi. Blackburn have equalised late in their home game against Portsmouth. That's a game that affects the bottom end of the Championship table. Here at the MKM Stadium on Talksport 2, a game that affects the promotion playoff places, and it's Hull 1, Millwall 3. Following us, it's Ipswich at the top end against Leicester at the bottom end. Millwall have possession on the halfway line, and every touch now from a player in an all-white kit is being cheered by the travelling supporters away in the far left-hand corner. Ballo for Millwall. Into Smallbone, laid off to Aziz, back towards Ballo. That was blocked. It's with Smallbone on the edge of the box. It's Femi Aziz with a first-time shot that is spanned wide of the goal. Hit with power, hit with venom. It remains Hull 1, Millwall 3.
Yeah, so I don't know what time those Millwall fans will have left this morning, but they will be enjoying it on the way home, and it's well worth it. Their team have been excellent, as I say. They put that bit of fight. They've got that quality. They've had to deal with adversity. He lost a player in the warm-up. Doughty, the substitute, comes on, he gets injured, and they've just dealt with it. No arguing, no complaints, and looking at the strength of this squad, you would not want to, I think it will be players for Millwall. You wouldn't want to play him.
Smallbone with a great ball to Ballo. Pandor comes sprinting out of his goal and sliding on this muddy surface to hook the ball clear, but Millwall will come forward again. It's on the right, and it's with Aziz, and he's into the penalty area. Right side, Smallbone plays the dummy, but no one was behind him. And Hull can mop things up, but we are into the final few seconds of what's been a thrilling game between 5th versus 4th, and it's the team in 4th that are going to take the 3 points and move into 3rd, a point away from 2nd, and there is the full-time whistle, and the supporters of Millwall celebrating like they've scored another goal. This is a massive win. Billy Mitchell, clenched fist, runs over to those Millwall supporters. A player that's come through the ranks will feel every inch of this victory. They took the lead after 14 minutes. Jake Cooper steering home from close range. Joe Gelhardt equalised 4 minutes later. Big talking point will be Cal Joseph, who had a goal ruled out for McBurney fouling Anthony Patterson. Big talking point, that one, and it would have given Hull the lead again. As it stood, Hughes hit the bar at the end of the first period. Second half, Ivanovic, the substitute for Millwall, taking full advantage of a slip by goalkeeper Ivor Pandor to tap home from close range to give Millwall the lead. And 12 minutes from time, Josh Coburn with a brilliant finish from the edge of the area. That has sealed 3 huge points for Millwall. Full time at the MKM Stadium. Hull 1, Millwall 3.
John, thank you very much as you say, it's a huge win. It certainly is. It takes them up to third and within a point of Middlesbrough, albeit, of course, that Millwall have played a game more. But it's a huge, huge win. It's another statement win for Millwall as well. And it's the first time in 8 games that they have beaten Hull. Let's chat to Matt Murray about it all and just put us into context how big a win you think this is for Millwall in terms of what that might say to all the other teams who are trying to get into these playoffs or in the playoffs.
I think it's a massive statement. They've come here, they've showed a bit of everything. John said it there. They've showed a bit of quality, but they've showed organisation, fight, they've showed strength in depth, players filling in for each other, the fans are with them. Every bit of that performance says, I can see why your away form is so good. Everybody knows how hard it is to go to the Den. So if you're going to play in 2 legs in a semi-final, because I do think it will be playoffs just. So this is a massive win because I think this near enough cements their playoff spot. They're looking and trying to hunt down that, get the automatics. If they do, that's a bonus. But they'll be going in with momentum. But the amount of adversity they've dealt with today, they've got the goal, they went behind, they had to weather bits. But yeah, I think it's a huge statement. And looking at this squad, the players that they're bringing on, the starting 11, the manager, everything about it, I tell you now, Millwall, they're right in a chance. They've got a real good chance of being a Premier League team next season. I do honestly believe that. Yeah,
there'll certainly be a team that's going to be feared in the playoffs, certainly, especially as you just touched on it there about their away record. That's the 9th on the road this season. They're unbeaten in 14 now on the road as well. That is an impressive run.
So impressive. In the Championship, I mean, that's impressive no matter what, but in the Championship, when there's so many good teams, it's so competitive. They're playing the likes of Middlesbrough, Ipswich, they're big clubs with big budgets, and they're going away. I think Coventry will be excellent this season, but yeah, to have that away record is fantastic. But I can see why. Because you looked at it and, okay, they rode their luck a little bit at times. The Woodwork was hit twice, big moment with the disallowed goal, but they lost a player in the warm-up. Doughty, who's a proven Premier League player, goes down injured with about 10 minutes into the second half. They've got a forward player playing at left back, but then all those subs that came on, they worked really hard. But that defensive triangle, which I think is massive, with Patterson in goal and Cooper and Kramer, that is what wins you points, because it just gives you that solidity. They headed everything, they blocked things. They've obviously got the goal as well, Cooper did, with Kramer heading it back across. Patterson didn't make any really big saves when he came and he took crosses. They don't take chances from the back. Millwall looked very good, and then you got Josh Coburn, who just gives everything up front, got his goal, works hard, gets you at the pitch. But then I also believe it's the impact they can have on the bench. Barry Bannon didn't even come on. And that's how good they are. So this Millwall team is they look the real deal to me.
You talk about that defensive solidity and how important it is, and just in terms of clearances, 51 clearances they made to 15 for Hull. I mean, I know that shows that Hull perhaps were on the ascendancy when it came to attack, but like you say, that defence held firm in the end for Millwall, and they've got some really intriguing fixtures coming up that could actually define whether or not they can make the top 2. I know you've already ruled them out, but after they host Blackburn next week, they've got a trip to Ipswich and a trip to Middlesbrough as well.
Yeah, so it's in their hands because if they win those, and there's going to be more twists and turns. Look, I'm saying, look, they can do it. And if they play like this, it can happen. I mean, Josh Coburn against Middlesbrough, he's going to have a point to prove there. Obviously, he's an ex-player. I just feel that those, it's going to be Coventry and one other. And I just do think it'd be between Ipswich and Middlesbrough. But look, Millwall have done their job. It's over to you now, Ipswich. You go and do your bit. And they are playing against them. And why not? It can happen. It certainly can. But it's just from the games I've watched. But they were really good. Really good. But you talk about those clearances. They took so much pride in their defensive work. As much as they love celebrating the goals and getting the goals and the subs coming on, they really enjoyed that defending. They worked back, they pressed, they got blocks in. Every time that ball went back a few yards, they stepped a yard. But those two, it's intelligence. Cooper and Kramer are very intelligent players who back each other. John mentioned it there, Kramer's a booking off a suspension, and if he's missing for 2 games, and if it ends up being those games, that would be big. That would be really big. But yeah, credit Millwall, credit Alex Neil. He did a really good talk at half-time. Obviously, he made the subs, but Hull as well. They played their part in an excellent game. Their fans can't be disappointed in the effort. Loads and loads of quality. I say big moments. Woodwork hit, disallowed goals. So they've given their all as well. But you mentioned injuries. I just feel their squad's maybe a little bit thin. But if they can get in the playoffs, then they've done really, really well. And why not? They still can do it. They're right in there. But yeah, Millwall deserved it in the end this afternoon.